Are you Christ?
And guys, we're here. 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 What's on the agenda, guys? So we will be talking about the Nations Cup. Yes, we're going to talk about what has happened in the Nations Cup so far. We shall also be talking about what has happened in the Copa America so far. Argentina using witchcraft to get through the groups. They were not supposed to go through the groups, but I cannot actually account for the use of witchcraft or white magic. And based on what people have been saying, and then obviously we'll talk a little bit about the transfers, latest transfers that have either happened or are happening, or discussions, rumors. And based on just a little conversation that I've been having, people claim that Gerrard is a top 5 midfielder in the world, which I think is a ludicrous and a psychotic statement to make. But we will get there, don't worry, we'll get there. So let's just start off first with this. So we still have some teams to look through, but we've seen a lot of the heavy hitters. So we've seen Egypt, we've seen Morocco, we've seen Nigeria, but we've seen Senegal. We still need to see, of course, Ghana and, of course, Ivory Coast. You know, people have been talking about this whole Nicolas Pepe guy. We know about Zaha. Gian is going to turn 62 next week. So there's a lot of this aspects out there. So my thing is that based on the teams that you've seen so far, who has been the most impressive? I'll start with Ale. I don't know who the hell this dude is. Is this Ale?
It's Juju, man.
Wait. Oh, no. Okay. So you're a City fan.
I was for the past since the oil money came to that city.
Oh, okay. So you were a City fan before all the oil money?
Oh no, before I was here with the Qataris.
It's not Qataris. It's you.
Okay, so tell me. Actually, so Judman, since this is the Nations Cup, people have actually been asking me this for a long time.
Yeah.
Where on the beautiful continent are you actually originally from?
Somewhere in Africa, eh? I can't be specific, but
okay. So you don't want because I know it's I know that it's either my view is that it's Zimbabwe. That's my call.
No,
it's okay. You're close, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay, all right.
It's Suriname.
Because one of my office colleagues is from Zimbabwe, and you have the same accent as him. So that's my and I also know the Zimbabwe accent. So look, from what you've seen of the African teams, is this all built and set up for the Egyptian icon to win, or can somehow, some way, another African team lift this great trophy?
I think, what's it called? First of all, I've been impressed with the tournament. I think, I don't want any bias, but I think this is the best tournament that's going on right now.
Oh,
yes.
Because it's just, I'm impressed with the progress, because I bashed the African teams in the World Cup, because they were so bad in set pieces, and I'm looking at this tournament, and it's like a lot of teams have improved. Like it's even though it's not like perfect football, a lot of teams have improved. And with the Egypt question, I don't think because either I'm not sure Zimbabwe either if Egypt were that bad or Zimbabwe is just that good, because what's it called?
No. Zimbabwe had the opportunities. They had that, but you know, it's the first game. Look, it's the first game. It's its nerves, you know. So that's
true. So Egypt. I mean, they won, so that was good. But I expect them to get out of their group. Uganda will be a tough game against Uganda, but the favorites I think are Senegal, because they just. I mean, I think they're playing. I know Tanzania was bad, but I mean, we're not as good, but. Senegal, I think they're the favorites. And overall,
I don't know about Senegal, man. I don't think they're ready to win this trophy. Personally,
true. But but overall, the tournament, I think there wasn't any I think the biggest score was a 2-0. I think 2-0 loss, but overall, there's no 7-0. So everyone's giving all, and I've been impressed. That's all I'll say. I think I've been impressed.
Okay, so before I
progress,
Christ, super chats from Juju Man who says, "Get Juju out of here." I don't know what that means. So I don't know whether I don't know, Juju Man, that you have some beef with Vincent. But hi,
I believe that Tamer. That's the Tamer.
Yeah, and I know line same. I mean, again, that sounds like a superhero's name. All right, Christ. Brief thoughts about the Nations Cup. Who do you think are the favorites so far, the strongest team?
To be honest, Double H, I don't know that much about Afcon, but I
Just
think
give me a raw
Morocco
thoughts,
are
bro.
the
Raw
favorites.
thoughts.
Yeah, Morocco, I think, are the favorites, man. Like, just by looking at the squad and just by what happened at the World Cup, I thought they played the best.
Oh yeah,
So I
you're
think
good. Yeah.
that they're the favorites, man.
Okay.
I think they're the favorites, but everybody has a chance, man. I think it's gonna be a good knockout stage.
All right. No. I think it's been pretty exciting so far, man. Darth, Nations Cup favorite, strongest team.
Yeah, I'll go with the home
Anish.
team. I'll go with the home team, Egypt, because of Salah, and then after that, like I agree with Christ, as in second favorites are Morocco, because the thing is that like in the World Cup they were really unlucky not to get out of their groups. They outplayed Portugal, outplayed Spain, outplayed Iran, but somehow they didn't get any points from that. So this time I think like if only they can convert their chances, I think these guys can go far. But yeah, I don't see any outstanding favorites so far. I mean, but it's only the first match day, but still, it doesn't look like there's like an overwhelming favorite in this competition, and it looks competitive. So yeah, like I'm probably gonna be wrong about this, but it's okay.
All right. Hassan, can your Egyptian boys go all the way?
Look, man, it was the first match, and it was shaky. It was like we played well, but it was the lack of finishing. There was just so many missed chances, and I think it was because of the stress of the first match. But we're creating those opportunities. So this Zimbabwe team, I think it was a very tough team to get through, and they actually played very well, considering the atmosphere, the insane atmosphere for the opening match. And I think Egypt were playing a very risky game, and they could have conceded a goal, but near the end of the match. So, but still, like, what I'm happy about is that we're not depending only on Salah, and we actually got that the whole team is working together, and Trezeguet scored a great goal. And look, man, as as for the favorites, I'm still gonna stick with slightly Egypt, because I don't think any particular team had an amazing first match. Um, I think everyone kind of struggled in this first match. Maybe Senegal and Algeria did well,
Hmm.
but I think look,
Wait, are you confident that your boys can go through, or you still need, or they still need more games to tune up?
no, they're gonna go through, and and I think they're gonna go far in the tournament because of the home atmosphere. It's the fans will really help a lot. And I think the second team is I'm gonna stick to Nigeria because I know
Easy. Don't tempt me.
I know the first match. I watched the first match of Nigeria. They were shaky, and the final third was very sketchy. But I think the chemistry is gonna build throughout the tournament, and they have some real talent in there. Chukwueze, wow! I think this guy's gonna be the star of the tournament. Chukwueze and look, Igalo showed up when he came on. Nigeria are building a strong team, and they're using the player. They're finally using their whole talented squad. They're the different players. They're not only using the ones in the World Cup. So I think
Okay.
Nigeria is gonna do something, and it's gonna be Egypt and Nigeria. My two picks.
All right. Mr. Just another dude.
Gamer.
Hi.
Just another gamer. All right.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Nations Cup.
Yeah. So I've only seen Senegal and Nigeria so far. I've only watched those matches, and on paper, Senegal should take this tournament.
But this is not on paper. Who is really going to win? Forget the paper.
Ooh.
Who's going to win? Okay. Munzaha, thoughts?
The hell.
Munzaha.
Mansaha.
All right. Hardcore, neutral. Thoughts?
Hello?
Nations Cup so far. Thoughts?
Okay. So for me, real talk, I'm not gonna lie, but
Okay.
Oh,
I have a
you're not being
question.
rude.
How do you watch the Afcon Cup of Nation games? I'm trying to find an online link to watch the games.
Wait, easy. Look, I don't want this thing looking at people. Look, man, just answer the damn question. Man. Wait, who said anything about bloody online links, man? Just answer. Who's gonna win the nation? I'm asking a guy, the Nations Cup thoughts, and asking me about links. I don't know any links.
Links.
Relax. Just tell me.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what's the question?
Your general thoughts on the nation
Oh.
and try answering the question without using the term liesi. Thank you.
Okay. Anyways, I think Uganda has a really good chance.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm picking them as dark horses. I'm picking them as dark horses. These guys, I don't know because I've been watching the World Cup qualifier and also the African qualifiers.
Oh my god.
They've stunned Ghana. They stunned a couple of teams on the way. They even stunned DR Congo in their first game. Like they look really good. Like they could be a team that I see
Surprise
like
team. No. They're the outsiders, possibly outsiders.
outsiders. Yeah. I
They
don't
could
think
be,
they're
yeah.
favorites, but I think they're dark horses. I think they're outsiders to maybe do something in the competition. But in all honesty, my favorite, I must say, to be honest, it's really hard, but I'm gonna say Morocco still because I haven't seen how Ghana played. For me, Ghana, I'm not too like confident because it's like I don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't know what to think about this tournament. But I can think.
So if it just to pick one team to go all the way, which team would you lean towards?
I'll lean towards Morocco.
Okay, all right. Red, is there a team to go all the way in this Nations Cup? Red.
Yeah. Okay. I have a couple to name. Like first, I want to say Egypt. I'm worried about them. I wasn't happy with their win. They were a bit shaky, so I'm not convinced. I had them as favorites originally, but I'm doubtful now. That was a quality goal by Nigeria, but still, I agree with you, HH. Like there's something just not right there. There's just something not clicking. So,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna refrain from judging because there's one team that this is the team that I really want to see. Cote d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast. Like that team, like I'm very excited to see Pepe and Zaha in attack. I'm very, very excited because Zaha is going to be an excellent weapon to be on the counter. Like just from the Premier, you've already seen what he could do. He's lethal on the counter, one of the best counter-attacking players right now in modern football. And I want to see like Pepe. Let's see if he's the real deal. He's been making a lot. He's built up a lot of buzz over the season. So let's see how he delivers. So I'm gonna put them as my favorites right now because I really want to see them, and I hope they succeed. So, and by the way, Morocco. Also, I wasn't sold on Morocco. I was disappointed with their performance as well. I thought they played much better than what they did today.
Sean, thoughts?
All right. So overall, I kind of agree with Red, except for Egypt. I actually thought they played pretty well in the first game, and they weren't so reliant on Salah, which was, I think, an important factor too, especially Trezeguet scoring that goal. And I don't really pay that much attention to Afcon, but from previous experiences with watching Morocco in the World Cup, I thought they played very well, and they're probably one of the better teams as well, and in Senegal too, because they have great players on the team actually. And I guess the top three would be Morocco, Senegal, and Egypt, but it's kind of too early to tell overall. So
okay, obviously, before we move to our Copa America discussion, so basically Monday's games go Ivory Coast, South Africa, Tunisia, Angola, Mali, and Mauritania. So before we get into Copa America, let's just do with some super chats. So from Josh Bond, he says, thoughts on Brazil v Peru. Neymar is irrelevant. We are going to get and deal with the Neymar and Peru discussion. I had to mute it because of the background noise and everything. So when you talk, you can unmute. So yeah, so Josh, we will address that right now in the Copa America discussion. But yeah, Neymar is slowly and actually no, Neymar is quickly becoming very irrelevant because of a guy called Everton Suarez. Premier. And let me just get to this other one by Young. Just bear with me. And from Young One, thank you for the $5 super chats. He says, if Nigeria switch their goalkeeper to the one that played in the World Cup, Ezenwa, they have a good chance of winning the cup. I think
yes.
I think it's an increased chance, but I still feel that the team still has a lot of growing to do and a lot of improvements. But yes, Apeye is completely not a trash. He's a Class B break. And yeah, Ezenwa needs to play ahead of him for sure. And Mikel's career for Nigeria is officially over, in my personal opinion. So let's now go to Copa America discussion. So I think I want to focus mainly on Brazil, and Argentina. So these are my quick takeaways, and I'll obviously give you guys the floor. With regards to Brazil, Everton Suarez is the superstar that Brazil have been waiting for. This guy is money. He's the one that's really elevating Brazil, and Neymar has pretty much become irrelevant with regards to Brazil right now. If you go to the Brazil streets right now in 2019, people care more about a dude called Everton Suarez who looks like a flipping drug dealer than a dude called Neymar who looks like a ballerina. So right now, Everton Suarez is more relevant to Brazilians than that diving loser called Neymar. With regards to Argentina, again, I thought they'd get knocked out of the group stages. They used witchcraft. They used white magic. Well, what can I say? Aguero is still an international break. Great goal. Still an international break. Scoring a goal against flipping Qatar doesn't negate how trash he was in that game. But he still scored the goal, and I'll give it to them. But Argentina do not look like they are sniffing that trophy. Colombia, Uruguay will beat them straight up. So, Juju man, thoughts on the Copa America so far as we slowly approach the knockout stage? Are you sold on Brazil? Have Argentina maybe? Do they think that they will shock people? What are your thoughts?
Before the tournament began, I said Argentina, and I'm still sticking with them. I know it sounds crazy to say because I watched the game, and I mean, if Messi even dares wins with this team, this is a miracle. This is the biggest accomplishment in football history. So that's how bad this team. Because I think when the next FIFA ranking comes out, they'll be ranked 17th. That's the one commentator said. So if they actually win, so Argentina, they played bad, but they somehow made it. And with this tournament, I look at Chile starting 4-0, and I think they're starting too fast. And I'm thinking the team that wins it is usually the one that picks up the momentum. And
so wait, so you're saying Argentina will win it? Then is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that. And even though it sounds like it's crazy,
wait. You're saying that Argentina going to win the Copa America?
Yes.
Are you sick in the head, or you're just trolling? What?
No, they are, because look, it's not going to get as bad as it was against Colombia. So when they face Colombia next time, they're not going to be that bad. So I put them no, they're not going to be, because they've learned from their mistakes, and I put them as what's it called? Because this will act as a momentum for the rest of the tournament. Like, they were out and done, but I think they're slowly starting to pick up. And then as for Brazil, I mean, that group is easy, so it doesn't say anything. I want Brazil under pressure. If Brazil play well under pressure, then they have a chance. But under pressure, these guys, recent history, they've been crumbling under pressure. So for that one, I won't put Brazil yet. And for Uruguay, these guys barely won the second game, and so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I would go with Argentina. I know it sounds like that's ridiculous because how bad they are, but I'll still stick with Argentina.
All right. Christ, man, thoughts? Copa America thoughts?
I think I think there's like 3 or 4 teams that are really good. Like Colombia, I love their balance that they have. With the good manager that's pragmatic, he's getting them defensively strong. But I still think Brazil are the favorites, man, because like I feel like they're finally peaking. But my second favorites would be Colombia, and then followed by Chile. Chile due to the experience that they have, and then Colombia just because of how balanced they are and their manager. Like, Queiroz is a good manager, man, and I think these players, he can do a great job. So that's my thoughts, man. I'm still going Brazil, man.
So and do you think Zapata can end up top scorer in the Copa America?
Who?
Do you think Zapata will end up top scorer in the Copa America? Duvan Zapata?
Very possible, man. Very possible. But I think it's gonna be somebody from Brazil. Probably Firmino.
Oh, okay. Darth, Copa America thoughts?
Yeah, so like Copa America, it started out pretty poor. It was pretty boring, but lately, like, the games have been getting more entertaining. We had a good game between Uruguay and Japan. Brazil like finally delivered after drawing against Venezuela, I believe, and Argentina actually are winning. So it looks like it's slowly like creeping up and improving. I think it's important to warn people that like they shouldn't get too carried away with Everton, because I mean ultimately like at the end of the day he's still a prospect and he scored against like some pretty
He's
bad teams
24.
for them. Yeah, I mean, look, dude, but like this guy, okay, he's like I've never even heard of him before this like Copa America. I mean, I heard he was linked to Milan, but I mean, I don't really know like who he is exactly. Like, so we'll see like what he does in the knockout stage. I mean, I like what I see so far. I like his style, his dribbling. He cuts in while he shoots, like so he looks like the clinical solution that Brazil have needed. I like Gabriel Jesus out wide because I don't think he has the physical like strength to be like a proper number 9. I like him better out wide, and Firmino like in the middle. So yeah, I think Brazil like are slowly sorting themselves out. They might not necessarily like shoot up and like just destroy everybody from here on out. Because remember, like the last game they drew 0-0 to Venezuela, so like maybe this is a one-off game. Maybe they'll be like back to being crap in the next game. I mean, don't be surprised if that happens, but I hope they do better. And Argentina, like I don't think they're gonna win because this is the exact same thing that happened in the World Cup. So like they were in a bad place in the groups. Then on the final match day, they just like somehow they beat Nigeria, and then they just got destroyed in the next round. So I mean, like I wouldn't expect too much from them either. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
All right, Hazem, Copa America thoughts, bro.
Yeah, man. Look, it's going from Brazil's side. It's going as planned. They're looking very confident, and I like what Tite is doing in terms of his understanding that with the safety they have of Casemiro and Fernandinho, they need more risk takers in the front three, more flary players, and I'm happy that he started Everton. And,
yes.
Yeah. So,
no. Everton should have started the second game.
Yep. I mean, yeah, Everton. This guy, since he was linked to Milan earlier this year, I watched a couple of his matches in the Brazilian league. Wow, this guy, he's unbelievable. Like he's a great talent, and I think he can really do something if he comes to Europe and break some lines. And look, man, this Brazil team is looking good. I just hope he starts Paqueta as well to add more flair to the trio. And look, I think as it stands, they're still gonna win it. As for the other contenders. Uruguay and Colombia are looking very strong. I have to say, Colombia, Zapata. Look, this is the thing. This is what he needed after the great season he had in the league. He had a great season with the 23 goals, 7 assists in the league. Amazing. More outscored Ronaldo. He's a great striker, and he's really coming in well in this Colombia team. And they needed that striker after Falcao got old. And so, look, man, Colombia have a strong squad, and they could be looking really dangerous. As for Uruguay, I'd say Colombia are ahead of Uruguay right now, but Uruguay are also dangerous. But unfortunately, Laxalt needs to be benched because that was a horrible mistake against Japan. And unfortunately, he's declined since the World Cup, Laxalt. So
he's injured. He's playing with an injury.
That's unfortunate. No, but come on, you can't make such a mistake leading to the goal.
That's why he couldn't accelerate because he has that hamstring injury.
Bro,
bro. Bro, I don't know, man. He's been very poor in general this season, so I think it's unfortunate for Laxalt. And look, man, I don't see Argentina going far. I'm sorry, because there's only so much Scaloni can do. I just don't think this team is clicking. Lautaro Martinez, that's a great move. You're starting Lautaro Martinez. That's great. But I don't know what the midfield's going to do. I just don't think they have enough to compete with the likes of Colombia, Uruguay, and Brazil, definitely. So I see, obviously, they made it to the next round, but I don't see them getting further than the next round, especially if they get a tough team.
They're playing Venezuela.
Oh, okay. Maybe
they're going through. They're going to the semis. Going to the semis.
I'm not giving them any that much chance against Venezuela, bro.
I could see Venezuela beating them, to be honest. But,
okay. All right. Okay. Let's move. Mr. LB, Copa America thoughts, bro. Mr. LB.
Yeah. I mean, like for me, it's been really decent. I mean, it hasn't been anything big, really. My favorites are actually Uruguay. They've been my favorites from the start. I've been supporting them for a very long time. But like as for Argentina, like I thought like that like wake up and actually realize that I actually need to do something, but it's the same old stuff, it's the same old sugar honey iced tea. But like for me, I just feel sorry for him, man. But it is what it is. But for Colombia, I think they've been really strong along there with Uruguay. But I think the team that's going to win the Copa America has to be Uruguay for me. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit biased.
Wait. Why does it have to be Uruguay?
Because I mean, I'm being biased, HH, and I mean, you can't. I do like the partnership of Cavani and Suarez. So look, I'll just keep it simple, man. I'm just being biased. I mean, I just like Uruguay. I think they'll win it again. I mean, Suarez does have one Copa America, so hopefully that does come into his hands, and hopefully they do it. I mean, like I don't see any other team really fighting for it. I mean, Brazil. I mean, that 7-1 still lives. To be honest, sorry, but fam, it has to be Uruguay for me. So.
All right, okay. Munsaha, Copa America thoughts, bro.
Bro, this was like quite disappointing Copa America tournament. What I was expecting, no, man. I was expecting quite some quality from Argentina as well. Then Colombia was good, but Chile is like doing good as well. Uruguay, they started good, but again they drew 2-2 with Gerrard. So like I was expecting strong team to perform really good, and Brazil, bro. Like I'll start with Brazil first. First of all, what's that dude name? Everton. He cannot ever replace Neymar. Yeah, please. That's a disrespect towards.
Wait, wait.
Facts.
Let me just respond very briefly. What Everton is doing is making Neymar irrelevant. Munsaha, we need to stop giving Neymar excuses based on his talent. Everton has raised the level and is literally lighting up and raising the ability of this Brazil team, so he deserves his praise. And I'm sorry because
but this is just only 2 international games. But HH, you have to understand, brother. Like this is just only 2 international games, bro. Yes. Like okay, fine. He did club wise. Okay, he did a great job. Like come on. That's on the basis of 2 games. I cannot just put him above Neymar. Like Neymar cannot.
No, Monta. I'm not putting him above Neymar. I'm saying that this looks bad on Neymar, and more people in Brazil will be screaming Everton's name than Neymar's name in Brazil. So that's what I'm saying.
Look, like nobody denies over here, Everton is not a baller. He's a great player. He has ability. The way he is playing for Brazil, come on, nobody's denying that. Look, on top of that, look what I see with this Brazilian team is like, okay, there is a creativity, okay, but that's not enough to win the Copa America because there are some teams, who can literally like defend them and somehow like get rid of from the attack what they go for. If you look at the midfield of Brazil, bro, it doesn't excite me anymore. You have Casemiro, okay, Casemiro is like good. Then you have Arthur. I don't rate Arthur anymore. Like just for 1 season or like 1 or 2 games in the league. Yeah. On top of that, you have players like Alan and all those guys. So still, I don't think so. This is a complete team to win Copa America. Secondly, right now the most balanced team, what I believe, can win this tournament is Colombia and Uruguay.
Yes.
Bro, you have to look from the 2 flex. No, you have to look from 2 flex. Colombia can defend and attack as well. And Duan Zapata is in red hot form. From Uruguay's side, you have Cavani. The way he scored, I know that. The way he scored. And Suarez also might get, good by the end of the group stage. And they have Maxi Gomez, Tuani, and all these, bro. Bentancur is great in terms of defensive player. Like, he's better for me rather than Casemiro for this Copa America tournament. Look, let's move from this point. Argentina against Qatar, bro. I don't rate that win, to be honest. I'll be honest to you. Okay, you won against like non South American team. That's a good job. Messi was average. My boy, Lautaro Martinez, bro. I told you, give Lautaro Martinez, Icardi 1 chance, bro. 1 chance. These guys will finish the ball. Look what happened. Aguero missed so many chances after time. Messi gave him a piece of a cake. He missed it again. Bro, like look in this Argentinian team, if you had Icardi and Lautaro next playing to each other and Messi number 10, woo, you're talking then. Still, I think so they'll beat Venezuela, and I think Argentina will make semis.
So if How far do you believe Argentina will go?
Look, brother, I can just see this team going to the semis, bro. Because once they meet Brazil or Uruguay, game over.
Yep.
Oh, no. So you don't think they could beat Brazil in a semi?
No, they cannot.
Okay.
I'm afraid to say that they cannot.
Let's move. All right. Hardcore. Copa America thoughts, man. Give it to me, man. Give it to me real. Give it to me real. Don't lie. Only the I don't want you to lie. Just give me the full truth. Don't lie. Truth.
All right. Thank you. What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna start with Argentina. All right.
Hey.
What a surprise!
Okay. Hardcore, Milan. Just as it this is a test for you. When you talk about Argentina, I want you to not say Laiesi. Try and talk about Argentina without using the name Laiesi. Go for it.
Okay. Anyway, I mean his new name is Trashesi, so I don't need it.
Always a loophole. Always a loophole.
Let me go into Argentina. Okay. The Qatar game, I agree with Monta. I don't rate it. These are good players, no question about it. They played really well. Qatar had some really good chances. I'm telling you, if Qatar buried 3 or 2 of those chances, I think Argentina lose that game. I'm being dead serious. I also say this, and I always say this. It was so appalling how you can run forward with the ball, but then turn your back and literally pass the ball directly to a Qatar player. That's what shows the definition of a trash player is. He goes forward. He uses gas pedals to go forward, but when his gas pedals stop, he has to make a U-turn and literally go to a Qatar player. Terrible.
Sorry, I just joined. Is he talking about Messi?
U-turn.
Wait. How to finish your point?
Okay.
Is he talking about Messi?
And this is the thing. Okay. This is the thing. The king will always be the problem for Argentina. Because the king of Argentina wants everything his way, it is hampering Argentina's success. I strongly believe, I'm not being mean, I strongly believe if you remove the king and you bring in a new...
Is this a Messi bashing session?
This is halfway through right now.
Icardi can be the new king.
Chill, I'm going to meet you. Just, I get what you said about Argentina and our dear friend Lionel Richie. Who... Pick one team that you think is going to go all the way to win this tournament. Just pick one team.
Also, I shouldn't go in depth in Uruguay, Colombia, and Brazil, right?
No.
Jesus, the whole thing.
Pick one team that is going to go through and tell me why. Just pick one team that you can go into in depth into the one team you think will win the Copa America and why.
To be honest, I hate these bloody bastards, Uruguay.
My.
This is the thing. I know they're gonna win it. I know they're gonna win it because of their mentality. That's the problem. These bloody bastards just know how to get a win in the most crappiest I've ever seen in football. They detrimented my country's World Cup fate. So to be honest,
go pick up Suarez.
Suarez is a bum. To me, he's a bum. All right. Anyways, so I think Uruguay is gonna win because they just have a strong defense. I look at all those other Copa America teams, they're all not strong. They're just not strong. Brazil, okay, fair enough. You have Everton and all that, but come on. I mean, they can't take on these Uruguay guys.
No. For me, I think Uruguay and a strong. Okay, look, but before I go to red. The thing about, let me just very briefly think about that Uruguay Ghana thing. I have my view on the cannibal. I still think the guy is a racist and a full-on idiot. But I've always said this. As bad as it was, if I was in that position, I'd have done the same exact thing. That was seriously. If I was in that position, you would do the same. So there's no point in hating because, like, if he did that to Nigeria, I would hate him for the night. But in the long run, I'd be like, bro, if I was in that position, of course I'd do the same thing because he was sent off, but he was willing to get himself sent off.
The ball crossed the line. the ball crossed the line. The ball actually crossed the line. Like
the ball didn't cross the line, bro. I remember saying it. The ball didn't cross the line.
It did not cross the line.
It did cross the line.
So
That's bro.
Okay, so moving to so Red, thoughts on Copa America, bro?
Yeah, like this has been honestly, I know the football quality has been up to par, but like the teams that I want to perform well, which Colombia have been doing great. They went on the sweep. I'm really hoping that they win it. I think that they can. This is a really good chance. Brazil, there's something not there. It's just something weird. Like both Brazil and Argentina, I'm not sold on them yet. Like they went through, like, even though they won 5-1, but we're not going to forget their first two performances. Like they weren't good at all. Like the first one, they won, yes, but it wasn't Brazil's fashion. You know, it just doesn't. This doesn't feel to me like a Brazil side. You don't see the flair. You don't see the, just the quality of football isn't up to their standards. Same thing with Argentina.
Facts.
Yeah, but I was happy today with Argentina. They finally gave us what we've all been begging them for. Is just please, for the rest of the team, step up. It's not just all Messi. Let the rest of the team step up, and they finally did. Like, and the team stepped up. They went through. It doesn't matter what happened before this. They're now through to the next stage. They're going against Venezuela, so that means they have a pretty good chance. This is a really good draw, like based off the pool. So they have a good chance to get to the semis, and then from the semis, anything can happen. Brazil, same thing for them. They're going to have a tougher road because they're going to get either Chile or Uruguay. So we're going to get a really good match either way for Brazil in the quarters. So that should show us the real quality. But I think Colombia, I think so far they've been the best team for me personally. Zapata, I really hope he does well because he had a great season with Atalanta this season, high scoring Serie A team, I believe. He what's it called? He's not right now. His goals were quality, both goals. So, but he's not clear. There's a ton of players like Alexis Sanchez at 2 goals as well. Which again, Alexis Sanchez, he's looking he's looking rejuvenated. Like this is the difference in terms of football, because there's 2 players that people were really disrespecting throughout the season that showed up, and that's Suarez and Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez showed us how great he really is for Chile. He's been incredible, and Suarez, he looks like a different player altogether. He's lost a ton of weight and he's looking great. So yeah, favorites rankings, I'm gonna go with Colombia 1, Uruguay 2nd, and 3rd Chile.
Okay. So we want to now ride with Nabil right now. So Pogba. The issue now that we now have with Pogba is there seems to be 2 destinations. I think that he is leaving United, and I know from very good sources that it just seems as if Pogba and his teammates is a relationship that has pretty much broken down, which I find interesting, And also, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer apparently says, I can't buy groundnuts with 100 million in the kitty. I need more cash. So I need a Pogba sale to increase transfer cash. So even Solskjaer wants him, as all reported to be. So the 2 destinations seem to be either Real Madrid or Juventus. And it seems as one report I read was Real Madrid are going to wait until the end of August for enough funds to fund a Pogba deal. But another report I read is that the Juventus deal seems to be very, very real, and Pogba is very much wants to make his return back to Juve. So the question is this: if you're Pogba, where do you go, Real Madrid or Juventus, and why? Digimon, kick us off.
First of all, I think what's it called? Until it's official, I don't believe.
Respect him. Don't be insulting.
See, I don't believe this reports because what's it called? Juve apparently now have been linked to everyone. I mean, it's like everyone forget this club is cheap. Unless the play is free, they can't afford anything. And with the Juventus link, I doubt. I doubt like Juventus are paying over 100 mil on another player. And another thing is with Real Madrid. I mean, Zidane wants Pogba, but I don't think Pogba is good enough for Madrid. I know that sounds like bad, but I think his performance this last season in Man United, he was just bad, and I don't think United. The only way Pogba goes to Madrid or Juventus is United have to take a loss on Pogba. They're not selling him for over 100 mil, which I don't. Which if that's the case, then he goes to Juventus. but I don't know. I still think he'll remain at United. That's what I'm thinking. I think Pogba will remain at United.
Okay, no, but if you had to choose, bro, he's staying at United. That's bridge has been burnt. But if it's between Real Madrid and Juventus, which is the best one? If it's between those two,
for him, he has to go to Madrid. Because what's it called? You can't go backwards. You have to make progress. If he doesn't make progress, then he has to go to Madrid. Because they have the younger players. Like they're the more ambitious club. They don't have a backline of 30-year-olds. But I mean, if he goes to Juventus, it's better than United. So, but if I was Pogba, I'd go to Madrid.
Okay. Christ. Pogba. I pretty much know where you think Pogba, but where do you think should go? Real Madrid or your club?
I think he should go to our club, man. Like, he's gonna be a starter for sure, and he already knows the environment. He knows what to expect, and I think that it's just better for his career. Like, but Real Madrid would be a great option.
Really?
So obviously, I think Real Madrid. Because you're telling me not to be biased, so I think Real Madrid. But I hope he joins Juventus, honestly, because our midfield is just crap now. So.
Okay. Darth.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, this is a very, very interesting transfer to break down and dissect. There's like a lot of dimensions to this transfer, and and like the more we get closer to July, the more like fake news there's going to be. So let's just keep that in mind. So first things first, like Pogba, like okay, so whether Solskjaer wants to get rid of him or not, I don't know. There's reasons for him to get rid of him. There's reasons for him to keep Pogba. From Ed Woodward's perspective, the thing is that he won't want to let Pogba go, and the big reason for that is that Pogba's a cash cow for Man United. The thing is that like he's their number one like kit seller. You know, they make a ton of money off of this guy. Like, I know the fans booed him, but ultimately next season, like he's still gonna be selling the most shirts. So selling Pogba in that sense would be a huge loss for United. And you know, Ed Woodward like holds a lot of the chips in this, dude, because Pogba's under contract. I'm not sure how many more years his contract is there, but like as long as he's under contract, like Woodward, like it's up to his discretion whether or not to sell Pogba. We also have to like keep in mind Pogba's agent, who's Mino Raiola, and you know, like that automatically like would push Pogba towards the highest bidder because Raiola, he's more of this like money-minded like super agent. And so depending on who like offers Pogba, yeah. So depending on whoever offers the biggest transfer fee and whoever offers the biggest salary to Pogba, Raiola will automatically be more biased towards that. I'm hearing like a lot of different reports. I heard Madrid were not going to enter a bidding war with Juventus. I heard that like FFP is gonna come down on us, like, and the Pogba transfer was gonna be like completely broken down. I don't think there's like 100% truth to that because, interestingly enough, the Madrid transfers so far this summer were actually within the last fiscal year. They weren't in the next fiscal year. So if we sign Pogba like in August, that transfer is gonna be in the fiscal year after the Hazard, Mendy, Rodrigo, and Eder Militao transfers. I don't think we're completely like out of FFP, dude. The thing is that like I think the only thing is we first have to get rid of some of the surplus players we have and generate funds. See, I don't think we can buy Pogba right away. I think we just have to sell like several players first. As far as who needs them most, yeah, Christ is right. Like Juventus need him most because their midfield is like pretty crap. But we need him in a different way. See, the thing is that, like, our midfield, if you look at Modric, Kroos...
He's getting old. Dritch is getting old.
Yeah, Brahim, Isco, James, like, a lot of these guys are going to be sold. And the thing is that if you look at them, if you analyze them, they're all fairly similar in the sense that they're, not very athletic, not very physical, highly, highly technical, very talented, but they're not quick. The thing is that Pogba adds a lot of physicality to this midfield if he were to join Madrid. And that's something we're really lacking. The only physical player is Casemiro in this midfield, and he's not even that quick. Pogba is quick.
He's not very mobile as well.
Yeah, Pogba is mobile. He's quick. He's athletic. And he's technical on top of everything. And he can dribble and carry the ball and link up the midfield to the attack. So on top of Hazard, he would add an extra dimension in this Madrid attack and the midfield. I remember that performance he dropped in 2016 away to Bayern at the Allianz Arena. This guy was tracking back, shutting down Ribery, shutting down Coman. Modric tried to do something similar, but Modric just doesn't have the physicality of Pogba. Dude. So Pogba would add something incredible to this midfield. I think we really need him. Not as much as Juve, but we really need him.
All right.
So yeah, I hope he chooses Madrid. But let's just hope.
All right. Hazem. Oh, sorry. We're going to Hazem just quickly. Super chats. Original base Annie, thank you for the super chats. Who says #Glazers out, #Woodward out. If United go into the transfer window with only 100 mil, they should forfeit the Premier League season. Thoughts? Where should Pogba go? Juventus or Real Madrid? Which is the best club for him?
Look, man, it's obvious that the best club for Pogba in terms of what he can win if he goes there is Real Madrid. Because if Pogba goes to Madrid with already Hazard there, Jovic, and already a great squad, look, man, these guys are immediately Champions League contenders, and I see them as favorites if Pogba goes there. If he goes to Juve, okay, they have they confirmed the Serie A and maybe the Cup, but you always have that question mark of bottling the Champions League again. So look, man. As to where I think he should go, I think he should go Madrid if he wants his career to take the next step. But where I think he will go, it's Juventus, because Juventus need him more. I know Juventus are getting the Ligt right now, and it's almost done. But and after they get the Ligt, they're gonna shift their whole focus to Pogba, and notice that Raiola is the agent of both the Ligt and Pogba. So once they secure the Ligt, they would already have a very good relationship.
So let me ask you this: if Real Madrid come in with if Zidane says no, I really want you, and we all know about how he knows Juve, he knows the environment and everything, and him under Sarri could be very interesting, and him linking with Cristiano could be very interesting. But what if Zidane says to him personally, I really want you? You don't think that Pogba will Madrid, massive lights, big club, huge club, Champions League prestige. You still think he'd choose Juve over Real?
Look, if Zidane says I really want you, he would probably lean towards Real, but he wouldn't say, okay, I'm dropping everything and go to Real. He would just wait for Real to see if they'll win the bidding war. Because look, I'm still not convinced that Real are gonna really pay more than 100 for Pogba, because I think they've had a big transfer window, and I'm hearing things about Mbappe. So look, man, I think if they get Mbappe, they won't get Pogba for sure.
Okay,
even if he says I really want you.
All right, all right. Let's write. Okay, LB. So why don't we go to try and be a bit briefer so we can go through some other topics. So Real Madrid or Juventus for him?
Yeah, look, for me, I think it's just Real Madrid. I mean, the question for Pogba is, right, does he want the big stuff? Is he serious, or does he want to go back to Juventus and lose another final again? Because with Hazard, he's there.
Oh my God.
Listen. I mean, Hazard, he's chasing the UCL, so that's the big thing for him. And if Pogba does go to Real Madrid, that's the sort of icing on the cake that they need, basically. And Zidane is there, 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Are you really gonna say no to that? Not really. Not in my world. So for Pogba, if he's smart, he chooses Real Madrid and he wins another UCL. That's it.
Okay, Munzaha. Pogba to Juve or Pogba to your club, and why?
Yeah, I'll respond in 2 ways. Yeah, first, what I want, and what will happen eventually. Okay. So first, I'll start with the Pogba. I'll say just one thing first for Pogba is this, bro. The same mistake what you did by leaving Juventus and you joined Manchester United. Don't do the same mistake again, because this is literally right now you're in your prime age of 26 years old. And after this, there is no way you're coming back.
So
You're
you're
not
saying that
getting
Juve
any more
is a
younger.
mistake. So is that way you're trying to tell me that Juve is a mistake?
Look, I'm not saying Juve is a mistake.
Don't be
but
biased.
hate
Don't
it.
be biased.
No, okay, I'm objective over here. Look, if let's assume from the pressure point of view, okay, who has more pressure right now? If you see Real Madrid project, we just now we bought 5-6 players. Still, we need one more season, at least to play to gel up together, to build a chemistry, you know. So we can buy the excuse. Even Pogba can have that kind of excuse. But if he moves to Juventus, already they have Cristiano, and they are so desperate to win the Champions League. On top of that, if they add Delete and Pogba, which I can't see happening, you know, for both of the transfers in one season for Juventus. But if even they add Delete on top of the Pogba, bro, do you understand the pressure they have to win the Champions League? Immediately, these guys are becoming number one favorites to win the Champions League. So in that case, in Pogba's mindset, no, look. In Pogba's mindset, he knows that. Like, come on, like this is the way. Now Juventus have bought me. It's my old home club. They believe in me. They trust on me. Like they have put in all the trust. You know, I have to perform. But that's a massive pressure. Comes to Real Madrid, he just have to have a pressure, in a sense, the normal pressure to win league and Copa del Rey. I don't think so. Like we have a pressure to win Champions League immediately next season, because there are so many teams like PSG, Juventus. They are waiting to win. Barcelona as well. So man, look, from the pressure point of view, I think so. The best destination is Real Madrid. Now let's see what Pogba can add to the Real Madrid. Pogba can add athleticism, what we require right now most, because most of our midfielders they are technical. They are not like physical specimen in football. No, except Casemiro. So it's similarly same thing what Anish said, and with the Pogba situation. Now Juventus, bro, I don't understand how Sarri is going to fit him, bro. Is he going to be box to box or like number 10, or how you're going to fit it? Even okay, if you fit him, it's I think so. It's difficult like for Sarri immediately to put, and you have the manager. This is the first season for a big Italian team, and I don't think so. How good is Sarri? For me, Sarri is like an average manager. He won Europa, which I don't give him that much credit. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because I don't give him that much credit.
Tell him.
The reason I don't give him the credit is that because Chelsea every season they win something, bro. Even after disaster season in 2013, they won Europa.
Big up,
so
facts.
So I don't think so. It's like a massive, I have to boost or props I have to give to Sarri. So I don't think so. What he will do in Juventus is like difficult, man, for me as well. So for me, the best destination for Pogba, I think so, is Real Madrid. But where he will go, I think so he'll join Juventus.
Okay, all right, hardcore.
Yeah.
Real or thinking for Pogba?
I mean, I'll just be simple with this. I always say this. I agree with Montaha. Ask this question to yourself. When the year of 2019, do you want to keep on winning Serie A league titles and bottling finals? Or do you want to win UCLs and win league titles? And I'm going to tell you this. If I was him, I will go to the team that I can win the league title, A, and B, I can be a guaranteed UCL winner.
Okay, no, wait, but let me ask you this. Wouldn't it be a greater achievement if Pogba could go to Juventus and be the one man that finally leads them to their first UCL since 1996? Wouldn't that be a greater achievement?
I know some of you guys are living in Maryland, but it's not happening. Right?
Oh my God.
Well, everybody laughs at you. They said you can't do it, but what if Pogba goes and does that, scores an amazing goal in the Champions League final against Real Madrid? He becomes a legend.
I mean, he can't do it alone.
Look, for me, like next season, I believe that Juve was favorites for the UCL for next season. But looking at the coach that they appointed, where is Pogba fitting into Sarri's system? That is a huge question. He doesn't fit into any Sarri system. and the funny thing is, because I think Juventus made a huge mistake. If it was Mourinho, I would have been like, hallelujah, they can win the UCL.
Oh
Barca,
my God.
then just a quick question, Barca. Just a quick question.
Guys,
You know nothing about
Okay,
it.
didn't you see what?
and let me say, can I finish my statement, please? Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
look, round off, and then we're gonna go to Red. Just round
Okay.
off.
This is Real
Oh my
Madrid.
God.
Zidane is a way better manager. As a man manager, he's very good tactically. He knows how to get over the line in UCL big games. When they won the 3 UCLs, a lot of people didn't really look at Zidane as one of the main men to win to help Real Madrid win the UCL tactically. They all looked at, oh, because CR7 was in the team, Real Madrid won the UCL. No, 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 no. Zidane, I'm telling you, Zidane is the one who literally, and I'm telling you this right now, is the perfect manager for Pogba. He knows how to interact with Pogba in French. He knows how to get the best out of Pogba. He knows how to put players in the right position. And that is why I like Zidane so much, is because he's a proven UCL winner. Is Sarri a proven UCL winner? No. And UCL is part of the richest sporting events in world history.
Okay. No. But what I would say, no, look, I think before I go to Red, it is a good point that he does make, though, with the man management. I don't think Zidane is a tactician personally, but as far as a man manager, I know he had to manage superstars and egos. I think he's very good at doing it just because it's bloody Zizou and every player respects him. So,
yeah,
Red, Real Madrid or Juventus?
It's simple. There's no hard choice for Pogba. Either way he goes, he wins. Because the thing is, he's gonna win trophies with both teams. Both teams have are aiming for the biggest trophies. They're not, and both teams desperately need a midfielder. Desperately, both Madrid. But I think Juve need him more than us. The thing is, the reason why I'm not too sold on Pogba yet is because I'm watching our midfielders this summer and they're all doing very well. Sorry, I'm hearing an echo. HH. Yeah, they're all doing very well. Like I'm looking at James, he's balling the Copa America. Like he's been gelling well with this team. I'm looking at Ceballos in the under 23s. This guy has talent. Like I'm like, if we bring in Pogba, we're essentially shafting all this talent. So I'm a bit, I'm a bit conflicted there. I understand the physicality aspect and all that stuff, but we can still play keep away. Like we can make the other teams run. We don't have to do the running. Like we're Real Madrid. Like come on. Like so in my view, it's all about what Pogba wants. I think I agree with Montaha on one thing is I don't think he should go back. You saw what happened. He was at United, went to Juve, went back to United, didn't go well for him. You have a good legacy in Juve. I think you should just go on for a new league, a new chapter, expand your career. You don't need any more Scudettos. The Champions League, you could win it at both clubs. So just go to Madrid, hopefully win the league there. Also, Madrid, they're clearly showing you that they have ambition, that they're building a team for the future. You're going to be he can lead Madrid, steer Madrid into the new decade right now and into a new era. So I think going to Madrid would be the better option for him. But I also have a certain bias. But I feel like if he goes to Juve, that's not a bad decision at all. He makes no mistakes.
Okay. So next on the agenda, Neymar. So I read a report. It was a Barcelona fan site, and they put out a poll of would you want Neymar back at Barcelona? And I believe the percentage was 72 or 73% were actually against Neymar coming back. And most people from this Barca fan group actually wanted the club to sign Delete. So that shows you how much faith they have in PK and so forth. So the question is this for the panel is, if Neymar does return back to Barcelona, is it a success? Is it a failure? Is it a so-so? What happens? How do you think it should go? Or do you think he shouldn't return back to Barcelona? Jujiman.
I say, first of all, with Barcelona fans, this is it's funny because they love Neymar, but they don't want to accept it to save face and act as if he's a nothing player. But they want Neymar. They will welcome back Neymar. As for Neymar, his decision to go back, I think he should not go back. Like you can't. I mean, if he goes back, I guess if he goes back, I mean, kiss goodbye Ballon d'Or, and I mean, he's not even it'll be a disaster if he goes back. Don't go back. Just, I mean, stick with PSG. It's been a rough 2 years. just stick it out. And I think more Neymar needs to just his lifestyle is the problem, where he parties a lot. Looks like he doesn't even take the league seriously. He shows up some games, sometimes misses the midweek game to attend to attend other events. I mean, it's more to do with his character. Even if he moves, he's going to be nothing will change. So with Neymar, I think I know he has better Messi with there and his friends Messi and Suarez, but it's just you can't run away from your from your troubles.
What should if you are advising him, you were in his ear, his agent, what do you advise? What would be the right move for him in this situation?
In this situation, I think the only I know it sounds, but I think he needs to stay at PSG. Even though he needs to stay at PSG.
Juju, man. Okay, let me add more sauce to the question.
Yeah,
PSG have come out and said pretty much we can't deal with a dude like a Neymar. We can't deal with him. They've pretty much said without it's just saying it's Neymar. We're looking to actually build on without you. So they pretty much crossed that bridge. So once they've made that kind of statement, you're no longer really wanted at PSG. Do you still force yourself to stay at PSG and pretty much get shunned and the focus now being on Mbappe and a different culture? What do you do? So you still remain at PSG, but then change yourself and become lower? What do you do?
Look, if there's a club I'm moving out of, and in no way I'm a Madrid fan, I say he moves to Madrid because he's not appreciated in Barcelona. He was Messi number one, even though they actually they like Neymar, but they don't appreciate him. It's just Messi number one, and whatever Neymar does in Barcelona, it'll be Messi. Messi gets all the credit. And if PSG don't want to appreciate the guy, I would tell him to join Madrid. Join Madrid. I mean, you have. I think that was the best option if he's to move out of PSG because he'll just be a new face. I know he'll be crucified if he goes back to Camp Nou in the El Clasico. But join Madrid. And for Neymar, this summer, just to end, this summer he needs to work on his ankle. He needs to. Because what's it called? He needs to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Christ. Neymar, is a return to Barca a good move? Yes or no?
Honestly, man, I say no, and the reason is because Double H, man, you have to understand, bro. He contradicted himself if he does that because he moved to have all the spotlight for everything to be about him, and if he just goes back, he just contradicts himself. And I did see what Nasser Al Khalifi said. And I think that if he does want to move, just move to a club that's not Barcelona, man. Because he wanted to move to get out of Messi's shadow.
Okay, so where?
What's the point of him going back?
Barca, where? Bayern, Man United.
Go to
where?
Juve.
I think Real Madrid. I think Juve. Yeah, Juve. I would take him gladly. But the problem is his behavior. But talent-wise, if he just plays his game, he's a top 3 player in the world, man, for me. And you just but the problem is he's too immature. He does all this stuff, and that's what's hurting his legacy. But yeah, man, that's my opinion.
All right, Darth.
Yeah. So 2016. In the year 2016, Mats Hummels played for Borussia Dortmund, Paul Pogba played for Juventus, and Neymar played for Barcelona. It's 2019 now, and Hummels is already back in Dortmund. We're hearing Pogba back to Juventus and now possibly Neymar back to Barca. So 3 big players and 3 utterly pointless transfers, possibly. These 3 guys, they left. They accomplished nothing, and now they all want to apparently come back to their old clubs. So much ado about nothing there. Let's see. I can draw so many parallels between the Pogba transfer to United and this Neymar transfer to PSG. They both thought
but just tell me, just is Neymar back to Barca? Will it work or will it not work?
No, of course it'll work because he should never have left. I mean, Barcelona was taking really good care of him, and if he comes back, they still take better care of him than PSG. I think Messi would control his ego. I think what is going to happen is that, when Barcelona sold Neymar, they bought a lot of players and their squad depth improved. So if Neymar comes back, the asking price for PSG now is 300 million. So Barcelona can't just pay 300 million. It's gonna be 100 million or something like that plus some players. So whatever squad depth they have, it's gonna be gone when Neymar comes back. And they're just going to have, like, that was the biggest weakness of probably the MSN Barcelona, was that they had the great starting 11. They didn't have a squad at all. So they're going to have to, like, rotate Neymar. I guess that's going to be okay because it'll help him avoid injuries. But, yeah, if he comes back to Barca, it'll probably be the best thing for him. So, he should never have left, and he should have stayed, yeah.
All right. Hazem. LB. Sorry. Muntaha.
Yeah, come to me, man.
No, don't worry.
I'm speaking.
What exactly was the question?
She's not even listening.
Hazem, the question is, if Neymar goes back to Barcelona, would it be a success? Should he return back to Barcelona? What should he do in this situation?
Look, man. I get the point that Barcelona they don't really want him, but I think that's all for act. That when he actually comes back, they're gonna really appreciate him, and I think they know that Messi is getting older, and eventually they're gonna need that player to replace Messi, and I think Neymar is perfect for that. And look, man, as for next season, I think Barcelona getting Neymar immediately makes Barcelona Champions League contenders, and you could say favorites. I would say, because I know Madrid. Look, if Madrid get Pogba and Barcelona get Neymar, we could have one of the best El Clásicos and one of the best two teams in the Champions League competing, and it would immediately make Barcelona contenders. But I heard reports that Barcelona are trying to go for both Neymar and Griezmann, which is crazy. I don't know how they would do that economically, but if they do that, that would be insane. I think Suarez time is coming up. I don't know what's gonna happen with Suarez, but if they had to choose between Griezmann and Neymar, I don't know. I would go for Griezmann because they need the striker. They need to replace Suarez, and yeah, man. But look, Neymar, as far as what I think is gonna happen, I think he's staying at PSG, to be honest. And I think he's gonna stay at PSG for one more year and see what happens. And look, man, I don't think he's going to Madrid. It's too much for Madrid, from my opinion. I think that they're more focused on Mbappe if they go further.
Okay. All right. So sorry, before I go to Muntaha, anybody in the chat saying that Barcelona should sell the US, you're flipping psychopaths and you're stupid. If Barcelona sell the US, they are complete and total.
Biggest mistake of this decade.
All right,
for Barcelona.
So Muntaha, Neymar back to Barca. Should it
totally agree.
Yeah, yo, HH, bro. First of all, let's do a simple and basic mathematics over here, okay? Because I love numbers, I'm obsessed with numbers, bro, and I love these financial figures. When you come up, when you like literally talk about the Neymar thing and the transfer thing, financially, it's impossible. Let's talk like how much Barcelona bought Neymar for. Literally, they bought Neymar for 85 million euros. They didn't declare that at that time. They said 60, but it was 85, and they paid 50 million fine as well. So, in a sense, Neymar cost them for 100 million euros. They sold Neymar for 220 million euros. So they made a profit of 120 million euros. Then they invested 300 million euros on Paulinho, Coutinho, and Dembele. So in a sense, now you're at a depth of 180 million euros. In a sense, like that's a net loss in a sense, after investing. On top of that, now PSG is saying that we don't want Neymar, as per the reports here. Okay, we don't want Neymar. You take it, Neymar. Pay us 250. Minimum, like
wait. Yeah. But Muntaha, what I've heard, I read something earlier today that PSG are willing to lower the price.
They lowered it from 300.
They lowered from 300 to 250. Bro, so right now, as per the reports, they said 250 cash and take Neymar back. Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah. No. Yeah. In a sense, like they want 250. They want, like, if you want to deal in the money, they need 250 million euros, not less than that.
The same way they got him.
Yeah, they got it from 220, so they said they need a bit more profit of 30, you know. So yeah, okay. So I don't think so. Barcelona right now in a state to pay the cash. What they will do, if they want to do, they will sell 3 players. And even if they're selling 3 players, they want Coutinho, Dembele, and Umtiti on top of that, plus cash. Or else give us Dembele, Umtiti, and 100 million euros. Bro, if you sell these guys, okay, Dembele is your star. Look, come on, this guy's 22, Neymar is 27. That's a massive risk factor. bro. And we all, bro, you have to think like that as well, bro. Why PSG selling him now? Why? The question is why they want to get rid of the star. Do you think is it about the management too? Neymar is not a proper player. Neymar is not behaving. Now it's about injury. HH. You have to think from this perspective. And when they know that this might be something crucial, something happened so badly to Neymar that he will keep on getting injured. And so, bro, from financial perspective, no way, man. Barcelona shouldn't go with that. I would love Barcelona to buy Neymar by doing all this stuff, but I can't see that happening. From the Neymar perspective, he should stay one more year and PSG, give one more season. Let's see what happens in the season. If it's not clicking, then you have option at that time, Barcelona or Real Madrid, but most probably Real Madrid will come. I'll tell you how. If Real Madrid won't get Mbappe next season, they will go for Neymar. This is a difference. Yeah. So that's the possibility Neymar can join Real Madrid, but right now I cannot see happening. If that happens, bro, on top of that, you cannot buy Griezmann. Sorry, that's bullshit, bro. I don't believe in that approach. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Hardcore. Neymar to Barca should it happen?
I just want to say, I reiterated my words. Dembele is an overrated bum, right? Sorry. Anyways, I just feel like Neymar should, and I will always say this, Neymar should not, go to this overrated bum team, all right? Here's why, you have to think about it in this perspective. You're going to a team where the king is superior to all the other slaves. Why do you want to become a slave again to the king?
But you have to respect his situation. If we don't want him, he seems to be a bit lost, and this is a place that he knows. He knows Barcelona. He knows the environment. He knows the atmosphere and so forth. And what you would advise, but that whenever you feel lost and you're feeling a bit confused, go back to the last place you knew where you were successful.
Okay. Well, I'll answer. I'll respond to your statement there. So that was because Xavi and Iniesta made him successful. It wasn't because of Messi. It was Xavi and Iniesta. And Dani Alves. These were the three crucial players that made Neymar who he is right now. Okay. The problem here is I don't feel comfortable with Neymar playing with an overrated midfielder called Arthur Melo, who's just a passer.
What?
I don't feel comfortable with him playing with this Barcelona team because they can't even score a goal in a crucial game. And you think Neymar is gonna score a goal and put them back? Hell no, that's not happening. And I just feel like, hey man, getting Griezmann with Griezmann and Neymar. Griezmann's overrated. I'm sorry, he's so overrated. So you add overrated to overrated to overrated. You know what that double
overrated?
Double L's, double L's, double L's, every single competition, double L's. This is all I'm gonna say, okay? If I was Neymar, there's other teams out there, okay? Just look outside, see the lights, all right?
Look outside.
There is
okay. Out of Real Madrid, Juventus, Bayern Munich, Man City, which club should he pick?
I go to Bayern. Because Bayern, look, let me tell you something. Bayern, you have a really good chance of winning the UCL. You have a really good chance. They live, they breathe, their bread and butter is the UCL. You can be the star player in Bayern.
Lewandowski will still be the star
They
player.
have look. That could be a really nice combination. Lewandowski and Neymar. That could really take them to the level that Bayern is supposed to be in. Because I think you add Neymar into that Bayern team, they look like UCL contenders to me. They look like real UCL contenders. So I mean, for me, I'd pick Bayern. Or City. City too could be one, but my problem with City is mentality factor. Because in UCL, they don't have that kind of mentality factor. For Bayern, it's like their bread and butter. They live for those kind of UCL moments. So yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Red. Neymar to Barca? Can it happen?
Yeah, of course. I think he should do it. I think that's a very good choice for him. One, because I feel like the doctors in Barcelona are some of the best in the world. Like you see a lot of the players usually like Ronaldo and all this, or Pep's players, like they send them over to Catalonia. They have some excellent doctors over there. So, and you see like Neymar at Barca, he wasn't getting injured as frequently. Also, I think that's also down due to the culture at the club. When you're at Barcelona, it's serious. You don't Barcelona don't need you. You need Barca. So like he can't party and do the things that he does. That he doesn't have the luxuries he has at PSG. At Barca, he has to be more disciplined. He can no longer so I think that's going to help his athleticism. So going back to Barca, I think that would be a good move for him if he delivers. Because if he goes back to Barca, there's going to be a lot of packages. That one, you already failed at PSG because that's going to be nothing but a failure. That whole 2-year escapade that you had in France, it's a failure. So going back to Barca, you have to deliver the Champions League. You have to, because if you don't, then you're going to be known as a failure. Because you so far you failed at Brazil, you failed at Paris. He succeeded in his first spell at Barca, but that it's also down to two other very quality players in Messi and Suarez. So like, even though, sorry, Hazem, your mic. Even though I do rate Neymar highly, I felt like in the MSN era in 2015, he did score in every round of the Champions League, and he was top scorer that year with Messi and Ronaldo. But like, so he does get a bit of credit for that. So I don't want to strip that away from him. But he has to, if he goes back to Barca, the next move you make, Neymar, make sure you know exactly, like you calculate it to a T, because he has no more chances. Like this player will be he's going to be a glorified Quaresma essentially. That's all he's gonna be. Like, it's just a glorified question if he does not deliver in his. I personally think, he should respect Paris, give them one more chance, give it a go this year. You have a quality team. You have Mbappe with you. You have a quality finisher. This team, regardless of what Mbappe has done, I think Neymar is still that guy in that club, because even Mbappe looks up to him and always says that Neymar is my.
So let me ask you this: if Neymar can stay fit for a whole season, how far can PSG get in the Champions League?
They can win it. Neymar is that good. Neymar, any club he goes to, that club should be thankful. The only thing you need is for him to be fit. Because let's be honest, this season, because who won the Champions League? Liverpool. Who was the only team that was actually that over 2 legs was better than Liverpool? PSG. You calculate the goals. If you go by home and away in the group stage, PSG go through. They beat Liverpool. They were the best team at Anfield this season with Neymar. The only difference is that when it came to the knockout stages, PSG they didn't have Neymar. He's never played a knockout stage at home for PSG. Like, that's insane over 2 years. So I feel like if this guy just gives it one more go, PSG could win this whole thing. Like their team has had chemistry over the years. They have a solid midfield. They have the best striker in the world right now in Mbappe, a top 3 player in Neymar. They could definitely go ahead and win the whole thing.
Okay,
Yo, Machine, what's up?
So yeah, so before we roll our final topic,
what's up, Machine?
Machine, what up, man? So super chats from Yakubo, the chosen one, who says, and also don't try and be funny. I know you're trying to be funny putting that name like that, but that obviously isn't the one. So he says Neymar under Klopp playing the 10 would be amazing. Yeah. If Liverpool were able to get Neymar, that would pretty much that would be an outstanding buy. And if he played the 10 for Liverpool in that system, Liverpool would be pretty much unstoppable on the attack. But that is only a dream. So our final little topic here is about Steven Gerrard. So Twitter is getting alive right now. And the thing about Twitter is that if you post anything that doesn't fully praise a Liverpool player, Liverpool fans will come for you and they will try and tear you down. So this was my view on Steven Gerrard. I think Steven Gerrard is a Premier League legend. He's one of the greatest Premier League players of all time. Sorry, he's one of the greatest Premier League midfielders of all time. Some would argue that he's maybe the greatest Premier League midfielder of all time. And he's a Liverpool legend 100%. I don't think he's international caliber. I don't think I can call him an overall world-class legend. And I think it's an insult to the great midfielders who've gone before to say he's a top 5 midfielder of all time. I don't think he's even a top 10 midfielder of all time. So The question is this: where would you rank Steven Gerrard amongst the great midfielders of all time in history? I'll start first with the Juju man.
Sorry,
Steven Gerrard.
Just to make sure, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Steven Gerrard, he's an okay midfielder. Because
whoa, Juju man, Liverpool fans go crazy. Choose your words carefully. Choose your words carefully.
Look, Henderson has accomplished equally more. So if Steven Gerrard is top 5, then Henderson should be there because Henderson has a World Cup semi-finals. Henderson will win the Premier League. Henderson has a Champions League. So if we're talking about performance, I mean, okay, but he didn't win anything, and Gerrard is responsible for losing a Premier League title. Like, he's the one for sleeping. So I'll give him credit because he was good. He was good in some finals, but what's he called? Like the players he played with were way better than the current team. Like they
weren't.
They were. Xabi Alonso was better. Xabi Alonso was like the Liverpool that won Champions League was better. This team is they have a high work rate. Like they put in effort. Based on talent wise, their team in 05 was better. And Gerrard played with. I mean, Xabi Alonso has a World Cup. I don't know any person in this team that has potential to win a World Cup medal. And so with this team, I think to rank Gerrard high, I mean, he's okay, but I don't think. I mean, he's the same with Michael Ballack. He's the same with Lampard. It's not anything outstanding. I didn't grow up as a kid looking up at as Gerrard as one of the heroes. So he's good, but he's not top 5. That's maybe in Liverpool's world, but in football, he's not top 5. If it's a painful reality, then I guess he's not top 5. That's just the point.
Okay, so where would you rank him then? Out of the history of midfielders, top 10, top 15, top 20, top 25?
I mean, he's average. I think I saw the one list. It's like, I would say midfielders. I mean,
in history.
In history, let's go 20 to 30 there, 20 to 30, and around there. It's not like because look.
No. But I laugh, but
no, I agree.
It's true.
Very high.
I think I'm doing him a favor. Yeah, because what's it called? Because someone is English doesn't mean he's the best in history. Because what's it called? I mean, we know English players are overrated because they're English. I mean, just because he gets all this hype and he's an English player doesn't mean he's the best in the world. It's just, I mean, maybe in their league, but not in the world.
Okay, all right. So, Machine, Gerrard, where would you rank Gerrard all time, man?
Gerrard, I'm not sure where I'd rank him because, he was one of these players that was always super hyped as he was playing. Partly because he's English. But I always found myself so bored watching him every time, trying to get the hype. I could never understand it. So, I know he's good because I've heard other players rave about him, and I'm assuming that they weren't on crazy pills. So I'm going to take their word for it. But I just was never floored. I never understood what all the hoopla was all about. So yeah, maybe 25, but not really 25. Even maybe further up to the 50s. I think for me.
Damn. So you're saying top 50?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go back to like Platini, and you're saying of all time, right?
No. That's the thing. I'm saying of all time in here.
Of all time, yeah, of course, for the top 50. I don't think that's ludicrous.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because people, I think, before I go to Christ, because Liverpool fans will try and say that's been insulting. When I say history, I'm talking history. I'm talking back to the flipping 50s, 60s, 70s, the great Dutch team, the great Brazilian team, the great Italian team. So there are lots of flipping midfielders that have been living on this flipping earth.
Yeah, exactly. If I can think of off the top of my head of 10 that are better than him in the sort of modern era, then I'm sure there's 50.
Oh, for sure. All right. Christ, Gerrard, where would you rank him all time?
Honestly, man, I pretty much agree with Machine. I mean, there's so many great midfielders, and these Liverpool fans, I mean, you already know how they are, man. They'll hype up every single player. Like they're the best thing ever. Like there's no other player that exists. I mean, literally, there's so many great midfielders. I think he's amazing, but there for me, he's like top 20 or top 15. I mean, because like I could think of so many great midfielders, not just based on their talent, but just how good they are individually. And also, Double H, can we talk about Messi's horrible Copa America? I mean,
Wait, no,
like he's been
No
terrible
more
this Copa
propaganda,
America.
we
please.
move past that. We move past that. We move past that.
Yes, 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 yes.
No, no, no.
Okay,
We move past
okay.
that.
What the hell am I doing here if we've moved?
I'm actually so, and also
Thank
briefly,
you, Machine. Thank you.
wait, Machine, in the chat room, you're being called White Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's
I
not,
don't know how they, so people think
it's not
he's
the
white
first
Jesus.
time I've heard that.
So, and also, by the way, he's actually Portuguese. So I don't think Portuguese people are white, or are they white? I don't know.
Yeah, we're super white. Yeah.
Mixture.
Okay, mixture. Okay, so Darth, Gerrard, where would you rank him all time?
I'd say he might barely crack my top 10. Like, and that's me being very, very generous. And I'd like to just say this thing, dude. I mean, if you think about the greatest ever, the very, very upper echelon players, I'm talking like Cristiano, Messi, you know, Pele, Maradona, Zidane, dude. Like, most of these players didn't really play in the Premier League, or maybe some of them might have, like Cristiano did, but even he didn't really spend his best years in the Premier League, dude. Like, so saying like you're the best midfielder in the Premier League really doesn't like say much, dude. Because in my opinion, if you look at historically, the greatest ever players played in Syria, La Liga, Bayern Munich, or if you want to really go back,
That's an
the
interesting point,
Brazilian
yeah.
league. Like if you think of like Maldini, all these guys, Baresi, like all
It is,
these are
it
like
is
top
true,
10,
but
top
that's, I think that's just happens.
Schweinsteiger, like all these guys, like you know.
It's
I
not
mean,
a
like
coincidence.
if you want to say top 5, I can name like 5 midfielders off the bat. Okay, Lothar Matthäus, Zidane,
Yes.
Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. They're 5 midfielders. So I mean, when you say things like Gerrard is top 5, I mean, and things like, you know, Salah is better than Cristiano, things like that, that just proves to me you don't watch anything outside the Premier League, and that you're like pretty much just blind. So that's all I'm gonna say on it. Like,
So, so where would you rank him? Top 10, top 15, top 20?
I mean, he barely cracks my top 10, and if you want me to be realistic, like more like top 20.
Okay, all right, Hassan.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, what is it with these Liverpool fans? I mean, not only that, I've been seeing like threats of Van Dijk being better than Maldini because of the Champions League. But look, man, regarding this, I can name like 10 to 15 better midfielders of all time, like Zidane, Cruyff, Platini, Iniesta, Rijkaard, Xavi, Didi, Pirlo, Seedorf, Matthäus, Rivera, Gullit. Like, there's so many. And look, I know what Red's point's gonna be. He's gonna say, "Oh, he had a very
why
average
me in
team
particular?
around."
Why pick my name out in particular? Like
No, because I've heard this before. You're saying
yeah,
he has an
exactly. Then why are you
average
saying my
team
points
around
for
him.
me? Then make your points and let me make my points.
Because I'm good. I just want to respond to them.
No. Just talk. Say your opinion. Don't worry about my opinion. Say your opinion.
All right. All right. So he's gonna say that they had an
I'm
average team
okay.
around
I'm gonna
him
say it. Okay, then
and
HH, my
everything.
turn is done.
No. Wait. Just chill. Hassan, just finish up. But don't bring anyone in. It's just Hassan. Just say your points. I just need a ranking, and a justification for what the ranking is of Gerrard.
For me,
all time.
He's top 20, top 20 at a push, top 15, and I know some people say that he had an average team around him, and he carried his team in 2005 to the Champions League. I don't agree. I think that Liverpool side had a decent squad, actually underrated. With like Milan Baros was great. He was like best player of Euros 2004 before that season. Luis Garcia was a great player at Barcelona before that. Alonso in his prime, Carragher. Like, man, this Liverpool squad, it was not only Gerrard, like he was the same there and he was doing everything. Dudek had an unbelievable tournament, for me, the man of the match in the final. And look, in the Premier League, okay, he had great statistics. He was a great workhorse, but I'm sorry, you can put him in the league of players like Lampard, players like Scholes. Although Scholes I would rate a bit higher than those level. Players like Ballack. But I'm sorry, when you're moving into the top 10, I'm sorry, I can't place Gerrard among the names of Cruyff, what's it called, Seedorf. Man, I know they played for better teams, but when you look at the quality, when you look at the pitch, I'm sorry, but these guys had unbelievable quality and did it on the biggest stage multiple times. And regardless of the teams around them, they showed up. They had their individual moments. And I'm sorry, I can say that Gerrard, he's a great workhorse, but no way he deserves to be in the top 5, let alone no way he deserves to be in the top 15, let alone the top 5. No way. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Munzaha, where do you rank Gerrard all time?
Bro, the question is as a player or as a midfielder?
Midfielder.
Okay, top 100, bro. Yeah, bro. No. The question is
don't do that.
No. Listen.
Don't do that. I value my channel, man.
Bro.
Please, I value my channel.
Okay, okay. Let's be realistic, bro. Bro, in every generations there have been a player. Okay. Secondly, Liverpool fans' agenda. Okay, regarding the numbers, bro. Even Romario has numbers. Do you consider him as a GOAT or top 5 in the history of football? Romario has the greatest numbers.
Why not? Why
but
not?
You don't consider him.
Wait, why not? Why not? If I were to make a case for Romario, why wouldn't you?
Bro, you can make a case, but you don't have a concrete evidence. Like, oh, he's the top 5. You can't just do that with that.
This is all opinion. It's all preference on what kind of players you like. The midfield can be very diverse. You don't have to have one style of midfield.
Oh my God. Okay, hey, did you call my name or red name, bro?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Secondly, bro, I just want to tell you that, yeah, there's so many midfield, bro. Like, the question is that, look, man, you are English. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to be in top 5, top 10 discussion. No way, bro. I can name literally 50 midfielders, frankly, if we'll talk casually, yeah, I can name 50 midfielders who are better than Gerrard. Bastian Schweinsteiger, Seedorf, these guys, Redondo. There's so many players who are better than Gerrard. Even in Gerrard, bro, look, Gerrard has 2 seasons, and I'm giving that for credit. Okay, he has era. Okay, he carried Liverpool side. I give him that. But if you'll tell me that top 10, top 20, that's a disrespect for the other legends as well. Paul Scholes was there, one of the greatest English footballers. That's a disrespect for him. Okay, Anjic? Thirdly, I just want to finish it over here. You know what? This high pool, yeah? I call him right now high pool. I don't call him Liverpool anymore. Okay? I don't believe in this high pool statistics and what they
Thank you.
Yeah. The way they look, the way they came up with the Van Dijk agenda. You know what? There will be the Van Dijk agenda again. No, hatred, man. I cannot entertain this kind of things, bro. Sorry, brother. I cannot. So he's not top 50, not top 50. Yeah, he's like 65th, something like that. Yeah.
All right. Machine. Sorry. Hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
To be honest, I'm gonna say this. Okay. Garrincha is 100 times better than Gerrard.
Yes.
Play is 100 times better than Gerrard.
Who did Garrincha play for on a club level aside from Brazil?
Hey, Dennis.
You don't even know.
Wait. Let's go. Let's the guys show. Let's go.
Dennis Bergkamp is 100 times better.
These are not midfielders, bro.
No. Just in general, overall. Dennis Bergkamp is overall.
Bro, we're talking midfielders.
Better play than Gerrard. For me, I think if you're talking about Gerrard realistically, I think he has to be one of the best midfielders in Champions League history, not in the greatest of time history. And I say this because I put asterisks on it. I put quotation marks on it. I said not as the greatest of all time. I'm saying Champions League greatest of all time, not greatest of all time, okay? Because this is the thing, okay? I agree with Monta in terms of they really hype this guy up. They really do, they really do. Frank Lampard can play way better than Gerrard. He's done things that Gerrard has done in his international career and also in his club career. And I just feel like, for me, Gerrard has bottled before. If he didn't bottle, I would have said, okay, maybe he's top 20, maybe he's top 30, maybe he's top 50. I would have said that. But he bottled against Chelsea the last day of the Premier League. there's no way I'm gonna give credit to a player who bottled against Chelsea. You had a clear chance, a clear pathway to win the Premier League, and you bottled it. So for me, I would say HH. He's probably the one of the best midfielders in Champions League history, in quotation marks, but not the greatest player of all time, in quotation marks. He is
Quotation marks.
me.
Oh my god.
Top 200. Top 200.
Top 200. All right, cool. That's cool. Red. Where do you rank Gerrard?
I mean, for me personally, he's in my personal opinion, I think he's top 10, maybe top 5 on a good day. I rate Lampard highly, but that's solely because I watched him growing up. But see, there's a lesson to be learned here, HH. The lesson is, if there's anybody that's willing to buy in, sell out. Sell out, because you're going to only screw yourself over. Because you guys say that he's overrated because he's English. I think the opposite. I think if this guy's name was Gerardinho, you guys will all be on his. You guys will all be riding him. No, it's true. It's true.
Wait, Red. No. Let me respond to that,
please.
If he was Gerardinho, he wouldn't play the way that he does.
Thank you.
How does he play? How does he play? How does he play?
Spot on, HS. Spot on.
This guy came into a team. No, he doesn't play like Milner. What do you mean he plays like Milner? How do you say Gerrard plays like Milner? Gerrard could do everything on the pitch. He could go back and defend, and he can go forward.
No. Wait. Red. Trust me. I will give you, because this is your time. I'll give you the floor, but just very briefly. No. I think the point that people are making is that Gerrard, of course, he could do more stuff than Milner, but his style of play wasn't technically proficient. There was not a lot of flair in what he did. As in, when you look at what Javi or Pirlo or Modric do, there is a beauty to the way that they play the ball. Gerrard was talking about work rate, effort, and energy. That's the point I'm making. But carry on.
But Messi's not about flair, and everybody faps over him.
No, apparently you only have to have flair. Apparently, because first of all, you don't have to have flair to be a great footballer. You could be efficient. You could just be efficient and know how to be a good leader for your team. Because Gerrard was also competing. Gerrard was also competing with a Chelsea team that was on the rise, that were bought by that have become a juggernaut because they were bought by Bob Millionaire. He was playing under against Sir Alex Ferguson's Man United team, the greatest Premier League era team, or like a dynasty of all time. He was going up against these times. He was going up against Arsenal, a very strong Arsenal at the time that was developing talent and kept on getting all the players, and he stuck by them. Okay, on that starting 11, somebody said Dudek was a great goalkeeper. Dudek played 4 years at Real Madrid, made 2 appearances. What are you telling? You come and tell me Dudek is a great
keeper. I said he said he was great.
No. And aside from Xabi Alonso on that team, Xabi Alonso, maybe Coyote, Gerrard was playing with nobody. He captained his team to the greatest Champions League comeback of all time in that final.
No. Red.
Okay, go.
Red, are you telling me that Xabi Alonso is a nobody?
No, Xabi Alonso is not a nobody. Aside from he had one other player.
Wait. Chill. See, Red, you can't do that, because Xabi Alonso, in my view, at that time, was probably the best player in his role. Xabi Alonso and Gerrard were both playing in the midfield together. And the key thing, which is why I give Pogba a pass, Pogba doesn't have a flipping Xabi Alonso in mind, because he has to do everything himself.
I'll give you 3 players.
You could always lean on to the best player in his role in that position, which is a huge deal. But carry on.
But HH, I'll give you this. I'll give you Alonso and I'll give you Carragher as 2 quality players they had with him.
Milan Baros. Oh my God.
Dude, Baros was in the twilight of his career, man. Baros was literally that's it.
Mama Gio.
He won
Look. If you're gonna come and tell me that Gerrard was playing with a stacked Liverpool squad, that's just a fault. You're chatting shit. You're not speaking sense, because Gerrard he literally stuck by his team. He was doing everything. He was in the World Pro 11 3 times in from 07 to 09 3 times. He was considered among the best midfielders in the world. Like, he went in 07 with Kaká and Ronaldo. He was alongside Iniesta in 08, and he was alongside Iniesta and Xavi in 09. He was considered in their bracket. The only problem is, the only thing that you could criticize Gerrard for is the fact that internationally he was underperforming, but that was England as a whole. That is the only thing. But for what he did for Liverpool, absolutely there's a case for him to be top 5. Absolutely. Like,
wait. Oh my God. Wait, so Red, are you saying top 5 midfielder of all time.
See, I'm not gonna front and say that Garincha or fucking Court. I didn't watch those players. Those players I didn't see them. I see their highlights. That's cool.
Okay,
but
so
I'm not gonna
rate
a footballer that was playing against alcoholics or drinkers.
Red. Based on the midfielders that you have seen, you would argue that Gerrard is a top 5 midfielder of all time based on the midfielders you've seen.
See, no, it's kind of tough because, like I said, he's top 10 on a good day. He's top 5. It depends because I change my top 10 from time to time because like Zidane is in my top 10. I have Iniesta. I have what's it called? Xabi Alonso. There's Sean Steiger. There's Pirlo. There's a ton of quality players, but like I don't need 3 Xabi Alonsos in my midfield. I might want Xabi Alonso. I might want Gerrard beside him because clearly that pairing worked and they won a Champions League. That's a world-class pairing. Like, or I might want, let's say, for example, Gerrard in a pivot, for example, or like in the Xabi around him.
Is
not, you could have he's an adaptable player. You could have him in any starting 11.
Okay. Boys,
in his prime, on an individual basis, just one thing on an individual. Like, if you look at his individual stats as an individual, he dominated the Premier League. He dominated the Premier League, Steven Gerrard, on an individual basis. And if you look up his stats, which I did earlier today, because when I saw this debate going on, out of his 500 appearances, he's had 3 goals leading to a mistake. But unfortunately, people only remember that one in 2014. And they judge him based off that solely. But it is what it is, I guess. Everybody has their own opinion.
I'll give everyone a chance, trust me. But let me just say, and I will give everyone a chance to respond. But my thing is that, again, I think Red makes a very good case, and I always like people making a case 2 and 4. So Red, I think, makes a strong case. So my thing is that, of course, look, man, I mean, Gerrard has his talents, and I do feel like if Gerrard was a very key reason individually for Liverpool winning that Champions League, especially in that final. But my thing is that I feel Gerrard is what kind of situation do I have in the game? I can't build my team around Gerrard. Because I feel that he has his skills, but see, Gerrard is like what I call like a hothead, like a impact, high octane, high energy player. If I'm having a midfield, I need somebody with composure and technical skill who is able to dictate the tempo of the game. Gerrard can't do that because Gerrard doesn't have the technical skill or the footballing brain to be able to control a game in the way that a Pirlo does, in the way that a Modric does, in the way that a Xavi are experts in that. But Gerrard is very good at, similar to Pogba, he's a utility player where he can make that long pass, he can make that drive into the box and everything. So, but my issue is that if I'm talking about midfielders and what is required of the midfielders and the top tier midfielders, I can't put Gerrard in the same conversation as a Modric, a Davids, a Rui Costa, a flipping what's it called? A flipping Riquelme, because these are the great at that role. So wait. I'm going to go to Muntaha, then Hardcore, and then I think Christ wants to say something. So Muntaha.
And I want to just add one last point, but continue.
Muntaha.
Like I have one counter question over here. Why you consider Maradona as a GOAT? If you see numbers of Maradona, it's nothing compared to Cristiano, Messi, Pele, or Beckenbauer, or whatever. You name it top 5, yeah? No. I mean, like, as per the HS list of top 5, like, compared to Maradona, numbers are not that much great, Well, in that case, how can you make Maradona as a GOAT? Because you see him as an impact. His decision, his like, eye test as well, what you said usually, eye test. I cannot see Gerrard visionary pass from like flipping 70-yard pass or, the defense cutting through pass.
This is he did all of that.
Bro, compared to other players, on top of that, Red is coming with the point. My brother Red is coming with the point. Just like he was played in the, like, the sides, which is like typically average side, and he made them win Champions League. I have a case for Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere was talent. I'll make him top 50, bro, because he was playing with the average Arsenal side under Arsene Wenger, and he was like, he sacrificed because of his injuries, and he stayed in the Arsenal, bro. He was a talent. So the thing is, what you have to understand is that Gerrard is a great player, but you cannot put him top 20, top 30, man. Come on, that's disrespectful, man. There's so many great players, man. Midfielders, I mean.
One question.
That's it, bro.
Wait. I'm gonna go to Hardcore, then Machine. Hardcore.
Okay, so basically, right? I totally disagree with Red in that he said that Liverpool's midfield currently, right, is not world class, but
I didn't say that.
Steven Gerrard, when Steven Gerrard it was in that midfield with Xabi Alonso, that was world class.
I never said they weren't world class. I never said anything about the current Liverpool side.
No, I'm just saying this, okay? The same players back then.
Wait,
For me, I think El Hadji Diouf was a major impact of Liverpool winning the FA Cup UCL. I'm being honest. And then also players like Risa and Babel. These guys were one of the quality, and Coit.
Diouf didn't play.
Their Coit was also influential, in that UCL.
Okay,
so for me,
wait. Make your points quickly. How to go? Just quickly. What is your point? Make your point.
My point is that Liverpool team is no different to the Liverpool team who won the UCL this season. I'm just being honest.
Okay. All right. Machine.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to ask Red, what are Gerrard's big standout moments? His most legendary.
To be honest with you, off the top of the head, I can't remember. Like, I can't give you specifics. Like, Gerrard, because he didn't have the big moments in the World Cup or in the Euros like that. His moments were in the league and in league campaigns. Like, I don't remember like specific.
What was his big standout? I mean, is there like a big goal that everybody like?
It doesn't, but see, he's not a striker though. He's not like you can't just. He's not that. He never had those big, because the big moments are what in the Champions League. His biggest moment is the Champions League comeback in 2005. And I don't think there's a bigger moment.
But Zidane's not a striker, and he scored that goal in the UCL final, or a number of other goals.
True. But Gerrard scored. I believe Gerrard scored more than Zidane.
But the great players all have moments that you can attach to.
2005, the comeback. That's a big, massive moment. That's the big one. People are saying that Liverpool had a better season than City because they won the Champions League over the treble, right? Because the champion is the big one. Gerrard delivered the big one.
But hold on.
Am I wrong? Did he not come back against one of the greatest?
No. Wait. I'm sorry to put him, but I think the point that Machine is making is that for Pirlo, people talk about how he pretty much controlled that entire game for Italy against England in Euro 2012. For Xavi, people talk about Xavi's how he controlled the entire half in what I thought is one of the most one-sided performance of all time in the 2011 Champions League final against Man United. For Modric, people talk about how he took over the entire second half in the 2017 Champions League final. For Gerrard, that 2005 is literally just the goal that he scored and the run that he made where Serginho brought him down.
But
he never really had that thing where he scored an amazing goal or he took over an entire game or an entire half. So I think that's the point that Machine is trying to make.
But I used the word earlier. If you guys can rewind and see it, I said efficiently. The thing is about you said earlier, because I wanted to respond to what you were saying earlier about like he can't control the tempo of the game. It's correct. That a player like Xavi, for example, is a master at that. No, I don't think there's any player that can control a tempo of a game like Xavi. That is correct. But if you look at their stats, Gerrard assisted more and scored more because he was more efficient in the final third, as well as being able to retain the ball better than Xavi. So he had his highlights, and Xavi had his highlights. They're both different players. They're both the only thing.
Wait. Better question. This is a better question. We all know that there are many roles within midfield: DM, CM, attacking midfielder, box to box. What is Gerrard's strongest role?
I think he's box to box, and he's also a utility tool. He could fit into anywhere in that midfield, anywhere Liverpool needed to play him. That he was playing. He played as a essentially. I think box to box. Yeah.
So.
So first of all, I would like to, on behalf of every football fan, I'll just apologize because this is disrespectful. Like I look at other midfielders, like Modric has 4 Champions League, and he's being compared to Gerrard. I mean, Iniesta and Xavi have a World Cup. No, but he has 4 Champions League, and Iniesta and Xavi have a World Cup and 2 Europa. And how many Champions League do these guys have? And they're being compared to Gerrard. Gerrard only has 1 Champions League. I mean, this is just offensive. This is offensive.
No, I'm not saying. Look. It's offensive to say that Gerrard doesn't have a case.
Wait. Seedorf has how many Champions League? Like 3 Champions Leagues. Like people have all these accomplishments, and they're being compared to Gerrard. Only has 1. Whatever he did in the EPL, okay, that's cool. Aguero's top scorer. He hasn't performed in Europe. Okay, we can rate him. He has good Champions League, but comparing to other people have accomplished a lot, and it's just I don't think it's correct to just compare them. It's just. I mean, it's offensive to compare to other people.
Wait. Let me jump off Jujuman's point, because Jujuman's point is multi-layered. You see, here Jujuman has a point in the sense of, bro, show me your rings, show me your jewelry. Okay, Modric, Xavi, these guys will show you World Cups, Euros, Champions Leagues, so forth. But that is unfair, because they say, wait a minute, look at the team that Gerrard played for, and look at the teams that these players played for. So it's a bit unfair to put that on Gerrard. But that's why I bring in a player like a Riquelme, because what the hell does Riquelme have compared to a Xavi? I think even Gerrard has more medals than Riquelme. But people keep talking about Riquelme because he was such an amazing player. He was so amazingly talented that we can forgo his lack of medals because he was such an incredibly unique midfield.
But then I have one response. You're mentioning
one at a time. Okay, Red and then Jujuman. Red.
See, this is my problem, because you guys are mentioning, like, let's say for example Seedorf. Seedorf jumped from Ajax, a Champions League giant, which they went to I think 3 finals in a row, to Real Madrid, another Champions League giant, to AC Milan, another Champions League giant. Who Gerrard stayed at Liverpool. He stayed not this is like I don't want to disrespect Liverpool because Liverpool are a massive club, but during that era, Liverpool, of the top 4, they were the worst. Like Arsenal, Chelsea, and United were much more consistent than them overall. Like, and he didn't have the luxuries. If Gerrard would have went to Chelsea, or if he would have went to Madrid, or would have went to United, or would have went to like any of those clubs, that all of them wanted him. Everybody wanted Gerrard, and that's a fact. You go back and look, and he would have won everything.
Wait. Before I go to Jujuman, I'll go to Jujuman. But Red, my response to that is Francesco Totti. Roma are not a big club by heavyweights, but everybody who was watching football back then will agree that Totti is one of the best number 10s of all time.
He won a World Cup.
So, no. Even before he won that World Cup, between 2000 and 2002, before he even sniffed the World Cup, people said, no, this guy is arguably one of the most gifted number 10s of all time. So I'm going to go back to Jujuman.
And the other thing, we can make excuses for the club, but international, there's no excuse. I mean, they had Rooney, they had Michael Owen, Ballon d'Or winner. They had how many good players were Ashley Cole, apparently one of the best left back.
Lampard, Ashley
How
Cole,
many
John
players?
Terry Ferdinand.
How many players? Like, this is an all-star team, and Gerrard, I mean, supposedly top 5 midfielder, did nothing. He did nothing. No imprint, nothing. It's as if he didn't exist in that team.
Here's the thing. We're now. I've seen.
Wait. So Red. I'll go to Red hardcore then Monta. Okay, Red.
Yeah, so what's it called? I've seen interviews like Ferdinand and all these guys. They've spoken about their stint as in England, and the problem with that team was there was a lot of divides based off the clubs. So that team they weren't meshing well. The chemistry wasn't there. They had the star talent, but that's why it's just like the Galacticos. When you buy the best players or when you have the best players, doesn't mean that they're going to perform. Because too much of there's such thing as too much of a good thing. So that you can't solely blame him. Then why didn't Seedorf perform with Netherlands?
All right, on your point.
He was also with the stacked Netherlands squad.
Okay, because does that mean if Gerrard went to Madrid or to Chelsea, he would have failed because too much of a good thing? Because you're playing with great players. If you play with great players, you're supposed to be great too. There's no excuse.
There's not that divide. There's a divide between the clubs. Like they went out on record and said it that these clubs,
Barcelona players. This is just excuses.
Arsenal players would sit in that corner. United players would sit in that corner. The Chelsea players would sit in that corner. Liverpool fans like they would. Oh, and by the way, I think he was the only Liverpool player to make England starting 11.
Wait, Red. On your point though, I think this is just excuses by these English players who were absolutely failures. Because in Spain, Barcelona and Catalonia and the Madrid players, they played together, and they have like these guys there's a tension, but they played together. So there's no excuse where just because you're rivals doesn't mean you underperform and say that that's an excuse. That's not an excuse.
We have to definitely stop that. And I think that is what holds Gerrard back, is that you were at your peak during England's golden generation.
Yeah.
Arguably one of England's probably best ever players since maybe the early 90s and so forth. Don't blame the manager, don't blame the tactics. You had multiple tournaments to do something, and Gerrard pretty much did nothing.
Can I say something?
I remember watching those.
One more fact. One more fact.
Defending in his own box in those games in the knockout stage because he was too afraid to actually control the game. All right.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Wait just a minute. Hey, first of
Very
all,
hard.
if
I'll
you
get
see,
you chill. Munta.
Hey, first of all, if you see that, Gerrard peak days, he won flipping 2005 Champions League. What happened to him in 2006 World Cup? Do you know that even against Portugal, okay, in Ecuador, who was the best player for England at that in that 2006 World Cup? What do you call it? Yeah, it's flipping Lampard. Frank Lampard was an outstanding player in that game, and with John Terry and Rio Ferdinand was like defensively, they're solid, bro. Like you have a team of literally golden generation. You didn't want. Fine, we gave you excuses. What happened in 2007? They didn't even qualify with this team. Even Steven Gerrard in that, they didn't even qualify for the Euros 2008.
Yeah, but he
They
went to a
lost
Champions League
Croatia.
final though in 2007. He went to a Champions League final.
Yeah, Champions League final. And what happened for the 2008? You didn't qualify for the Euros? Are you kidding me? If you're that great, and on top of
That's
on top of that, back in the 90s, Netherlands won Euros with Roulette. There was only 3 players at that time was really good: Rijkaard, Roulette, and Van Basten. They won Euros. Even like bro, like every like.
Wait, when?
90 something, I can't remember exactly. I can't remember the 86 or 90. Can't remember.
It was
something
88,
like that.
dude. 88.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you, Anish, for helping me. Yeah. So, bro, great player win trophies for the international as well. What Gerrard have won? At least he needs something to backing up numbers, bro. Numbers, it's not enough, Red. You have to understand, bro. And you know what, Red? I think so. You have new new girlfriend, bro. She's from Scouts or something like that, bro. That's why you're supporting Gerrard, bro. Come on, man.
Can I say something?
You cannot do that.
Oh my
You
God.
cannot do that, bro.
Hey, wait, guys.
God,
There's a name we haven't even
Welcome.
mentioned.
Okay. Let me bring in a hardcore.
Okay. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. So, are we trying to phase out Mbappe winning the World Cup and N'Golo Kante winning the World Cup or Pogba winning the World Cup? Because this is how I see it. Gerrard, right? Gerrard is being hugely above all these legendary players. For example, Pele winning the World Cup, and they're rating him over Pele. So this is the
Who
problem.
rated Gerrard over Pele?
Listen,
the whole argument is that is Gerrard capable of being in top 5? Can you put him in a top 5 argument?
He's not. He's not. Based on what I'm seeing, I think that it's solely unfair how this guy is literally being rated top 5 ahead of all these other legendary players. Okay, I think he's in the level. To me, honestly, if that was the case, I would have said N'Golo Kante or Paul Pogba is a way better player than Gerrard because they've won a World Cup. So and he's won Champions League. He doesn't have it.
You know what, guys? I'm starting to see football a different way.
Can I
like
say
you guys,
something?
I'm just gonna go on Wikipedia, look up the
Can I say
trophies,
something,
and
guys?
that's how I'm gonna rate my players because it's all just he has a World Cup, he has a trophy, he has that individual performance means nothing.
It matters,
No.
Guys, can I say something?
No, but guys,
Wait.
there's a
Let
name
me
we're
go
not
to
even
Hazem,
mentioning.
and then I'll round things off after Hazem.
Yeah. So with Gerrard, what my thing with Gerrard is other than his long shots, for me, the rest of his abilities, they're average compared to the greats. Like
Thank you.
even
Thank
when
you.
when you bring in people like Cruyff,
Finally.
Pirlo, they all have a skill set that's at such a high level that for me, if you bring Gerrard's skill set and you put it in front of that, for me it's very weak because all he had was the long shots, and he was great at the long shots, but I don't even think he was the best in the Premier League in that. You had Lampard.
It was Frank Lampard.
Lampard was an attacking midfielder. Gerrard wasn't.
No, I'm talking about skill
Gerrard,
set. I'm talking
even
about
for
pure
England,
skill-
Gerrard
wait,
sat deep to let Lampard
I'm talking about
attack, and he
pure
was
skill
shifted
sets.
for. No, but like you guys want to talk England?
And speaking of Cedar, you said he came into a ready Milan team. I mean, that Milan team when he joined in 2002, it was we finished fourth, and we hadn't won the Champions League for ages since 1994. So it wasn't like it was immediately he came into the great team that was ready to win the Champions League. No, he was a crucial aspect in that team to win the Champions League. And I know Gerrard was crucial in 2005. But look, man, it was a team effort, and
Who was the captain?
He did it once, and Sadie and all these guys have more achievements.
We're done with this.
I know, and I don't think Gerrard had a weaker team, but he has to deal with that because
Barca, because your team lost in the Champions League.
Wait. Let's just hear. Okay, Hazem, finish your point.
Yeah, so the problem with Gerrard is he doesn't have any solid case to back him. Skill set,
we don't need these bums in our life.
Only and what's achievements, you can't really say anything. Impact on the team, maybe okay. 25
Champions League can't even
25,
say anything.
That's it. 2005. That's it. And compared to the rest, I'm sorry, man. You have 20.
So basically, my thing is this: is that, and I think, look, Gerrard is a quality player. I still say he is easily one of the best Premier League midfielders of all time, 100%. And what he could do box to box was amazing. Wait. Like, bro, if you're going to talk again, I'm just going to put you out of this hangout. What this guy could do defensively was amazing. In midfield was amazing. Long passes, good in the final third. So he was a great box-to-box, all-encompassing midfielder. But when I think of the great midfielders, Gerrard's name never comes up. Like, because I remember I watched Gerrard all throughout his career, and if you ask me, and I named the true great midfielders, or name me if let's say a young player is coming up and they want to try and model their game on someone, or like they want to try and watch someone play the midfield position and try to see the greats play the position the best that it could be played, I will never choose a Gerrard. Because if I'm thinking of a midfielder, you have to have composure, you have to have a great skill set, you have to have a consistency in that midfield, and there's going to be a particular high level of technique and a footballing brain about you. I can't say that about Gerrard. Despite his amazing skill set, his great effort, his amazing passion and energy, he didn't have the same kind of technique, flair, skill, or footballing brain or footballing IQ as a Modric, as a Xavi, as a Pirlo, as a Rui Costa, or any of these other players who I feel were the best and played that role. So I think that this is not taking anything away from
Platini.
For Gerrard,
Yes.
Wait. I think for Gerrard, he's a Premier League legend, which is a great thing. He's a Premier League legend, which is an amazing thing. But when we now talk about world-class international on the big stage, I'm sorry, we can't put him in the same category as the true greats.
Quick question, then, One question.
Just 5 seconds. Just give me 5 seconds. You know, while speaking with Gerrard, we are forgetting about the one guy. Deco won 2 Champions League in 2004 and with Barcelona as well. I think so. People are forgetting these midfielders.
Yeah.
Mustafi won a World Cup.
And he's not even top 20.
Who else? Giroud has a World Cup.
Rui Costa.
Danilo, bro. Danilo's a back-to-back Champions League winner. Kovacic, 4 times in a row European champion. I could do that too, bro. I could do that too.
Okay, wait. Red. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So, do you feel that, let's say that there is a young midfielder, like he's 8 or 9 years old, and he has the potential to be a great midfielder, would you tell that young player to watch tips of Gerrard to learn how to be a great midfielder? Would you advise him to watch tips?
Depends on the young. It depends on the kid and what his skill set is. Because if I see that he has, let's say for example, pace, I'll tell him to go on the wing. If I see that he's more intelligent, he sees plays move out, then yes, I
no. You're training him to be a central midfielder.
Gerrard's final ball is very underrated. The thing is, you guys are really sleeping on Gerrard's passing.
No. Wait. I'm just asking a simple question. If there's a young kid training to be a central midfielder, would you tell him to watch tips of Steven Gerrard to learn how to be the best central midfielder he can be? Would you advise him to learn from Steven Gerrard?
Well, no, because I would show him multiple videos. I can't show him one player, but yes, Gerrard would be among them. Yes, I would definitely. Gerrard is an example. Like honestly, this is a football legend. You guys are disrespecting him way too much.
A football legend.
How am I disrespecting?
Oh my!
No, if anything, Liverpool fans are disrespecting the other legends.
How am I disrespecting them? I rate them too. You guys are saying that you're acting as if Gerrard is a workhorse.
No, but dude,
you guys are talking. Gerrard is not a workhorse.
Red, dude, just to show you I'm not biased, dude. Like, I rate Gerrard over Kaká, dude. So, like, I mean, I'm not even biased.
Oh, God.
Like,
well, yeah, Kaká had
wait. Let Dad speak. Okay, Dad, speak.
Dude, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not even being biased right now, dude. And a name that nobody's even talking about is, like, I mean, Lothar Matthäus, dude. Like, this guy was, like, a box.
Lothar Matthäus, yes.
Like, easily over Gerrard, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, like, top 5 is too much, dude. Even top 10 is, like, too much, man. Like, because in my opinion, see, like, I mean, they play vastly different roles. They play vastly different roles, dude. But Lampard is still, like,
yeah, man, exactly. Dude.
I respect that. Look, guys, I respect them. Like, see, this is the thing. This is the beautiful thing about football. There's different styles. You might like the more tiki-taka or defensive or more offensive style. In my opinion, for the way I like to see football, I like my players to be like Gerrard, a player who grabs the game by the scruff of the neck, who leads the team, who actually pushes forward. He can score goals. He can retain the ball. He does everything. He's not an expert at one thing, but he's a jack of all trades. Not for you, no, but it's all relative. Everybody said it's objective.
Okay, red. Now, look, now I know how to respond to you. Now I know how to respond to you.
Please.
You see, the club game and international game are two different beasts. Mm-hmm. And many managers will tell you that in club football, it's a lot faster, quicker. So there's a lot more. You can play with a lot more energy involved. Everyone tells you that the international game is slower, much more tactical, and much more like chess. There is no space for you to be up, down, running in, make those latest runs. You have to be smarter. You have to learn how to keep the ball. You then have to now have a lot of patience because it's far more tactical and far more intricate internationally. So my argument is, even if you gave Gerrard the best England team possible, he would never perform internationally because he didn't have the proper skill set, the proper composure, or the proper technique to be able to properly be an effective midfielder at international level, which is a different kind of football system and kind of demands for a footballer than thingy. So that's, you say what's red.
Sorry, can you just repeat that last part, Syed?
No, so basically, my point is that I don't believe that because Gerrard never performed internationally, because the international game is different, because it's slower, far more tactical, and far more focused on keeping the ball and holding on to the ball, as opposed to the club football where you can be allowed to play a faster game. Even if Gerrard had the right manager and the right players, he still would never succeed internationally because he didn't have the right skill set internationally. So doesn't that show proof that he was limited as a midfielder because he flopped internationally? So
but that whole team as a whole flopped. It wasn't Gerrard. There was something clearly wrong with that team. The chemistry wasn't there. It just like because we're not going to act like Ashley Cole's the one. Like Ashley Cole and John Terry, one of the best.
They didn't qualify for
no.
Top five. We're talking about top five.
They didn't even make it to the Euros.
But Red. How can you say Lampard and Thingy flopped, but Gerrard didn't flop?
Because
so
Gerrard,
why is Gerrard been exempted from
he's
the
not.
rest
He's not because Lampard is also a quality player. Like I rate Lampard, Ashley Cole, John Terry. Like these, like for me growing up, these were the dudes. Like these were like some of the best players on the planet. Like coming out from the Premier League. Like we're not gonna act like is Ashley Cole not one of the best left backs of all time?
Yeah, no.
Am I wrong in saying that? Am I wrong in saying that? Was John Terry? All time, Christ. You don't know what you're talking about.
No. But Ashley Cole, Rio, and Terry did their job. Hence why England mostly lost on penalties because the defense did their job.
Yep, that's right. Yep. And you know where Gerrard was playing? You know where Gerrard was playing? Gerrard was playing a more CDM role to let Lampard go forward. So if anything, Lampard flopped over Gerrard.
And why do you think Gerrard didn't play? Wait. Why do you think Gerrard didn't play his best position? Why did the top five midfielder didn't play his best position? Maybe it's because Lampard was actually better at his position. Because you cannot be the best top five best player in history and then you're played out of position.
Someone in the chat. Also, Red. Ericsson. Okay, Ericsson isn't a fool. Ericsson is a very smart manager, and maybe Ericsson said, "You know what? This isn't club football. I don't feel that Gerrard is going to be effective for me in a central midfield position or an attacking midfield. That our team will be far too unbalanced and will get overrun by in how international football is being played. So if you're truly a quality midfielder and he said he's multifaceted, you should be able to still be effective in a slightly different role in midfield."
Yeah, and someone in the chat brought it up that he reminds. Wait, Red, just 1 second.
Wait. Okay, sorry, Red, go.
I was gonna say, you just said that defensively, England did their job, and you're right because Gerrard was playing deeper, so Lampard could go forward. So Gerrard, he wasn't looking to score goals; he was looking to defend, and he did his job. The people who were supposed to score goals, Red.
The defense, Red. The defense did their job. Rio, Terry, and Ashley Cole did their job. For if you're in a knockout stage game, Gerrard, you can't be hiding in your own box. It's about trying to force the issue and control the game. Hence why I went to the point of like international football, it's about controlling the game. And Gerrard, you're still a midfielder. Remember, Lampard is not a controller. Lampard is an attacking midfielder. Someone has to control the midfield. So for Gerrard, if you're that dude, you're much more of a controller than Lampard. But by you going deep, it means that you don't have the confidence or the skill sets to control the game, which was needed in those international games. So
is he like the new Messi?
I don't know why.
Where we make
bro. People are forgetting about that.
Someone is saying that.
Thank you, Machine. Thank you.
It's not Machine. It's me. Is he like the new Messi?
Ambrosini reminds me of Gerrard because he's the same type of profile in that he didn't really stand out in anything, but he was effective for his team. And for me, Ambrosini and Gerrard are in the same thing because Ambrosini won 2 Champions Leagues, but you'll never say Ambrosini is top 20 midfielders of all. No way.
dude. Like,
for me,
But
Ambrosini and Gerrard are the same type of players in terms
But
of
that's
the
the
profile.
argument that you guys are making. You guys are bringing up the trophies. I'm saying on an individual level, Gerrard
no,
dominated.
but dude,
No,
like
he's
On an
not.
individual level,
dude,
like I'll
like,
give you guys an
Red,
example. I'll give you guys an
Nah,
example
man.
of what I'm trying to say.
No,
I'll
you
give you
don't.
guys an
He didn't
example.
stand out. He
But
didn't
it's
stand out.
true. But it's true. If you
He
look at
didn't
his
stand out.
stats, his stats are
No,
unreal.
dude.
From like
I'll respond
nobody
to you,
has
dude.
better
Like,
stats than him back offensively and defensively speaking. Like
Oh my
as
God,
a balance.
stats, numbers.
Dude, I'll respond to you, dude. I'll respond to you. Look, dude, look at the comparison. Look, I'll make a comparison, okay, dude. Look. Just look at it this way, dude. Like, see, like HH like was like right, dude. But in on top of all of those things, dude, the international game, it's more about being clinical, opportunistic, and clutch, dude. And if you see like the things that Pirlo was doing with Italy, dude, see. If you look at like HH said, dude, that was a very good like point. Like the defense of England like did his job, dude. But Gerrard, like the role he plays as a CM, dude, like he's like CMs are like the conductor of the team, dude. They're the engine of the team, dude. And it falls on CMs more than anybody to get the team ticking and to get like the flow going, dude.
But
so like if you look at
facts, Anish.
but look at compare how Pirlo single-handedly orchestrated that Italian team to how Gerrard performed with England. Dude.
Tell him.
Pirlo single-handedly controlled You can't like compare that to like what Gerrard is doing. Dude, Gerrard like he's like not that like level, dude. Like where he can just take an entire game by the scruff of the neck. See, that Liverpool team, like he was easily their best player, dude. 2005, yeah, but it was still like a team effort, dude. Like he wasn't like single-handedly taking the whole game.
Of course, it's a team effort. It's a team sport. I'm not saying that Gerrard on the starting 11.
I want to bring in Machine here. We're red. Chill. Machine.
A lot of the players that were discussed as some of the greats that you loved at the time, for me personally, they were more workmen than anything else, man. You know, your John Terrys of the world, your Frank Lampard may be a little exception, but and Steven Gerrard, they all sort of like they never really inspired me to go, wow, look at that player. You know, they were individual choices. They were just like really good at
energy, effort.
Yeah, effort, workman-like commitment, tactically sound. I think Ashley Cole was a proper footballer, but these guys, I don't think they're going to go down in history. People aren't going to wax lyrical about them in the future.
Oh no! I think that's a key point that Machine is making. Is again, when I look at Gerrard, and trust me, I mean, living in England and everything, I saw this guy throughout fully. It's like Gerrard, he'll give you effort, he'll give you energy, he'll give you that crazy 40-yard play. But when you now look for just grace, skill, technique, footballing brain, footballing IQ, where you're like, wow, this is brilliant. That's not what Gerrard gives you. And when you're coming into international football,
he's like a Henderson.
So basically, when you're coming into
he isn't.
Wait, chill. When you're coming into international football, it's much more difficult. It's a slower game, especially in the non-countries. It's a slower game, and you have to have a central midfielder. You have to have a guy who is controlling the game. And the issue that England had is that was what Gerrard was supposed to be, because Lampard, that isn't his game. Lampard is your attacking midfielder. Lampard is the goal scorer, because he's a far better goal scorer than almost any midfielder in history. So Gerrard, your position was supposed to be, you're supposed to be the Pirlo, you're supposed to be the Riquelme, you're supposed to be the Xavi. But if you can't do that, then of what use are you? Which is why it goes back to the whole Liverpool arguments of don't sleep on Xabi Alonso, because what allowed Gerrard to make those runs into the box, to do all those things, was Xabi Alonso. Because Xabi Alonso could keep the ball. Xabi Alonso had the technique, the footballing IQ, and the composure to dictate the game. Spray a pass, keep the ball, make the right pass consistently throughout 90 minutes, which allowed Gerrard to do his crazy energy, workman-like, and all that kind of stuff. So Gerrard is about efforts, energy, passion, compassion. But with regards to skill, technique, and so forth, he wasn't it. Guys, I'm out. Peace out. I'll see you guys.
Forza Milan.
Good shot.
Wait.